What up?
I need that sports encyclopedia. Where you at, Steve Kim? Got Trent in the cut. Yeah.
Where you at, man? In the gym shooting, I'm Durant. You ain't shooting John Moran.
Darnell is the Ball State legend. I'm the Warren Central High School legend.
I'm proving with a reliable source, straight from the mouth of the horse. Smitty and JB and Smitty from West Coast to Yost.
I love talking ball. It's nice to connect with guys that are like-minded and just are real and genuine.
Better stay in your lane. How did
you are fucking insane. Dude, what? You just will not give this guy his flowers. What is up? What is wrong with you?
Oh, you must have thought I was a bitch.
I am him. You's not it. What's the topic? With your logic when I flow. Big Komodo, how it's talking.
Gotta get back to letting the baby cry a little bit to see if they can soothe themselves. That's a bar.
Issues get pressed so fast, you don't get sacked like bags and baggage. Smitty and Jason Brown killed it, yeah, it's a rap. We what the game's been missing, we switched it and filled the gap.
I identified him after his third fight, and I said that guy should be a star.
I'm so proud of the show, bro.
The gap. Smitty and Jason Brown.
To the Coach JB show.
What up? It is Free Game Friday, back at the Slapdick Cigar Lounge and Studio. We got a loaded lineup today. We got a loaded one. We got Big Matt McChesney, Shaun King, and Jeff Nadu to break down the NBA Finals tonight, the NHL Stanley Cup run. We could have the first sweep in professional basketball and hockey in the same year in 26 years. 2 sweeps. Is hockey staying in America? It looks like it. Looks like Florida's going to beat Edmonton. And we're going to dive into a little hockey today. JB knows all things. Short, fat, skinny, and tall. I know them all, contrary to all of your belief. So just stay tuned. We're going to dive into that. We got a lot going on today. A lot going on. But let's run into this first real quick. It is Free Game Friday. We got a loaded show. And make sure that you head on over to hit the like, subscribe, and become a member for only $2.99 of our winnable.com/slap picks to get Smitty and I slap picks as well as access to the Slap Nation Discord. Got to download winnable.com to get into our Slap Nation Discord. So subscribe to the First Down Plan and ride with our picks weekly, monthly, yearly right here on winnable.com/slap picks. So let's get right into it. The day of player empowerment is truly upon us. Overselling and underdelivering, overselling and underperforming, overpaid and underperforming is truly what today's society has become. Once upon a time, we lived in a place where we would undersell you and try to over-deliver on our word, our actions, or the job at hand. Nowadays, we are fully expecting something without busting a grape in a fruit fight. Trevor Lawrence is the latest recipient of this, and he signed a $275 million deal yesterday. Arguably has underdelivered on the number 1 pick status. Plus, we don't know what we will get going forward. However, we selected to pay this man astronomical amounts of money before any results have been accomplished in a result-oriented business. Make that make sense. Tua arguably has been more accomplished to date. Jalen Hurts, C.J. Stroud in just 1 year. But in the 2021 draft class alone, let's just keep it relative, one that I argue is possibly the worst draft class when it comes to QBs of my generation. Trevor was taken 1. The Mormon MILF hunter, Zach Wilson, was taken 2. Trey Lance, an absolute nobody, was taken 3. Justin Fields at 11. Mac Jones, I believe, at 15. And we can argue Justin Fields to date has been just as productive, statistically speaking, as Trevor Lawrence. And yet Trevor gets a Super Bowl champion type of contract. What happened to deserving what you earn? It's gone. And now we just get to sit back, watch overpaid prima donnas, sit out games, demand trades, and lose fucking games when it counts most. Mediocrity is truly our new excellence. Let's dive into this intro. Trevor Lawrence, like I said, just signs a big deal, $275 million. We're going to dive into that all show long. Ahead of Tua and Dak, by the way. Alvin Kamara sits out minicamp over a contract dispute. Again, I just mentioned, overpaid, under-deliverers. The Big 12 is exploring selling its naming right to a title sponsor and are in negotiations with Allstate, among others. Falcons lose their 5th-round pick as NFL hands down punishment for tampering with Kirk Cousins signing in the offseason, which I told you about months ago. Former Cleveland Browns quarterback Bernie Kosar, a living legend, a Miami Hurricane legend. I know Steve Kim loved him to death. He's suing a media company. He alleges forced him to make a ceremonial bet that lost him his job on the team's pregame show for the Cleveland Browns last year, according to court documents. We'll dive into it. But before we begin, from the friendly confines of his home, not in the studio today, my co-host, Snaptown legend, 317 Far East Sider, LeBron Hairline having, Lamar Jackson loving, AR5 defending, Caitlin Clark Jockey, Fox Sports very own, Big
Hey, it's Free Game Friday, JB. It's Free Game Friday, man. We here live.
Your
you at your crib. I'm at my crib. What?
Your lighting's garbage. Throwing it out there. I can't critique it. Your lighting looks horrible. Your mic sounds shitty.
What else?
The show looks shitty. It's like the mic's shitty. Your lighting's horrible. The setup. I don't like the rap behind you. It's shitty, man. Whole show shitty. What's up, Big Smitty? Let's get through it. I mean, mediocrity is the new excellence, apparently. I don't know. So we'll just stay mediocre. Fuck it. Bailey, we don't even need to talk. Let's go right into quote of the day, brought to you by betonline.ag. What up, man? The real Coach JB here for the Coach JB Show with Big Smitty. We got a proud new sponsor, of course, for the second part of the year, and that's BetOnline. Continue to be your number one source for all basketball wagering needs, including pro and college hoops throughout the year. March Madness is here. Join us every Monday and Friday with Jeff Nadu as we will pick them and up-to-minute odds, stats, and trends. You can follow your favorite team's path to the playoffs with in-game live betting, contests, and all the best player props. Experience the world's best wagering platform anytime from your desktop to your mobile device. Head on over to BetOnline today. Become part of the team and remember to use promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for 50% off plus welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online where the game starts. Peace. Hopefully,
what a shitty way to start the show off, JB. I jump in. I'm excited on a Free Game Friday. Excited to see my guys. Excited to see all the fans. I see D Jones in the chat. Jazz, Baz. I see Baby Girl. Everybody here turning it up. We had a great night, by the way, in the Discord. There's a new Discord, JB, that you're a part of that you were not active in. I suggest you jumping in there today after the show. Good energy all around. And out of nowhere, you bring me to the show. You say, my hairline's fucked up. You say, I look fat. The lighting horrible. My mic's shitty. You don't like, good morning, motherfucker. Like, damn.
Major earthquakes swarm near Antarctica. Multiple 6.0 earthquakes have struck.
Fuck all that. Fuck all that. TJ Riddle, 99.99, man. Appreciate you, my guy. Clap it up for TJ
Hey,
Riddle, man.
TJ's a real one. TJ's a real one.
TJ, anything you need from us, we got you. We don't give a fuck, whatever it is.
Hey, maybe we could get like lighting, mics, cameras, all the shit now. Since we're such a shitty show, like we got such a shitty setup.
Yeah. Imagine if 753 people all did this. It'd be a game changer. If everybody in the chat right now just did what he made this one simple TJ Riddle sacrifice, it'd be a wrap. I would leave my, you know what I'm talking about, and me and you would just
How much money is that?
753 times what, 100? 753,000.
753. There's not 753. That's total though. Let's just say what's in YouTube right now. What is it? 400.
Oh, YouTube. Right. Okay.
Times $100. But remember, that's 40,000. But then you got to take away minus 0.030%.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. See, everybody gets taxed, man.
Somebody do the math real quick, y'all. 40 times 100, and then take off the. You said 0.3.
We know that it's 40,000, but you got to subtract 0.30%, 0.030.
I want to know the exact number.
Yeah. So you would lose 30% of 40,000.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
50% is 20,000, so a little less than that. So what? So we probably thinking about what, 13.5 because it's coming out of that?
1,000 each.
Give or take.
White people get more shit. I'll get more though, because I'm white. So
no, you deserve. You know how I get down. You deserve more. Yeah. I wouldn't even accept more.
But I would get more just because I'm white though.
Yeah, that's true. Let's keep this show rolling, JB. Quote of the day. What is it? I want to hear it.
Oh yeah, we haven't even done it.
You ain't did
Quote
shit.
of the day. And we do that all the time. Brought to you by Bet Online. Quote of the day. Some people have to keep up with the frequency, and some people are the frequency. A major difference. A major difference, Big Smitty. I'm the frequency. I'm just throwing that out there.
You sure?
I'm sure I am, because all the dick riders try to be the frequency. Obviously, they're trying to talk to the frequency.
Right. They coming to you like you are the one that you know what I mean? They gravitate towards you.
I don't start comments on Twitter, on Instagram. If you haven't noticed, I never comment on someone else's shit negatively or any of that. I don't do anything. I'm truly from the start none, won't be none era. But if you start some,
there
will be some. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't ever comment on you. I don't care what your topic is. I don't go on Twitter looking for you to say something on Twitter. Like, I'm not looking for your comment. I don't care about your comment. But when you talk to me, just remember, I will talk back. Because I'm the frequency, Smitty. They want to fuck. Like you always talk about in the chat. They trying to fuck with me. I'm the frequency. Contrary to belief.
What's cool nickname? I'm going to start calling you Frequency.
Yeah. Contrary to belief, brought to you by Prize Picks. Head on over there. Use the promo code CoachJB. All things betting tonight. Game 4 of NBA Finals. You can bet all prop picks on Prize Picks tonight using the promo code CoachJB. As you see it on the top of our screen, Prize Picks and Bet Online. It's better to be silent and real than loud and fake. Contrary to belief. Contrary to belief.
Real is always better. Real is always the option that I go with, JB. I ain't got a fake bone in my body.
It is. Smitty, I got to dive into something real quick, though. Poll question is going to start the show off right.
Let's do it.
And I started it off kind of leading the show. Does Trevor Lawrence deserve to be the highest paid QB in the NFL? Drop it in your chat below. Everybody out there, drop it in the chat. Does Trevor Lawrence deserve to be the highest paid QB in the NFL? Per dollar per year is what it is. He is the highest right now over everybody else. Him and Burrow, I believe, are right there. So
deserve no. I'm gonna kick it off. Deserve no. You know, I'll come on this show all the time. I say the market is the market, and the quarterback market is at a point where it's kind of ridiculous, though, where you can be average and become the highest paid quarterback in the league because there's such a shortage of good quarterbacks are great quarterbacks in the league that if you have just an average quarterback that's just decent, you find you gotta invest in him all the way because that's how bad the overall landscape of the quarterback play is right now. Number one. Number two, though, this man has a record of 20-30, a losing record in his career. He's won one playoff game, one in which, let's keep it real, they should have lost. The Chargers choked and gave it to him. They were down by like 21 plus points, I think, at one point in time. 58 touchdowns, 39 interceptions, cool. We understand, he's dealt with multiple coaches. I'm not putting it all on Trevor Lawrence, but when you watch the tape, even if you're a Jaguars fan, there's no way in hell that you watch the tape, you watch the wins, the lack thereof, and you just feel 100% confident that this is the quarterback of your future.
Let me ask you a question.
I don't. Not even trying to be funny. Not trying to go at D Jones. I got a feeling he's going to come in the chat and say something crazy and think I'm trying to take a shot. This is not even no jokes at all. If this was my quarterback, I would not feel – if somebody came in and said, you know what, let's pay AR5 right now, 5 years. I'm like, nah. Like we haven't seen enough. And I still don't think we've seen enough in Trevor Lawrence to pay him this amount, to make him the highest paid, the best in the league. Nah, man, I don't know. Like, I understand the market is the market, and you got like he was going to get paid. It was inevitable. He was going to get paid. But I wish they could have been a little bit more creative with the contract to where he was like a middle of the pack, level, instead of putting him at the top of the level with Joe Burrow and where Mahomes is at, and right, like he should not be in that conversation at all. But that's what it is, JB. What can you do?
Listen, here's what it is. Quarterback marketplace. It's hard to explain this to the casual out here because you don't understand. The quarterback as a totality in the NFL is below mid as a total. You have these outliers that are really good, and you have a bunch of below mid performers. I'm just going to be honest. The below mid performer has set the marketplace, not the upper echelon guy. I don't know if you guys have realized it or have seen the trends in the last few years. So I got to ask you a question to this same take. In a year from now, we'll be talking about Dak Prescott, whether he signs a deal or not. His deal, if he does sign, will shatter this one. I mean, let's be honest. It's going to shatter this one.
It always.
And then CJ Stroud, CJ will sign again in a couple of years. His will shatter that.
It'll keep going, JB.
CJ's year this year is going to be a huge determinant on what he ends up setting the marketplace. CJ will probably be the highest paid at the end of the day because of his first ridiculous rookie year. But remember, it's going to come down to this sophomore year, in my opinion, that sets his stage for the big deal contract. But in a year from now on this show, are you going to have that same energy about Dak? Because listen, Trevor, we can argue, was drafted into a far worse situation than Dak. He had to deal with a college coach for a year. He had a couple slumps, had a little height spike in the NFL. People saw that the number one overall pick capabilities, and then they choke off a 28-point lead against the Chargers or whatever. Then last year he comes back down to earth, and then now he gets a deal. Seems like that's the trend in the NFL. Tua's the same way, trending the same way. Jalen Hurts just got paid. And if we're looking at this draft class, Smitty, the 2021 draft class, in my opinion, this year's class that just occurred in April and this 21 class could go down as the two worst quarterback classes in my generation. Right now, though, the 21 class, Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence, Mac Jones, and Trey Lance. So,
not looking good.
One of those four had to be paid. One of those four first-round guys was going to get paid, and obviously it's the one that's playing right now.
Right.
So, listen, mediocrity is the new excellence, dog. I mean, it is what it is. I'm just being honest. Justin Fields, statistically speaking, is very comparable to Trevor Lawrence all the way around. More rushing yards, more rushing touchdowns, obviously, for Justin.
Yeah.
The same amount of starts. Now Justin will take a back seat because he's going to go probably back up Russell Wilson for a year. But if we're really just talking statistics, which I hate, on a much worse franchise right now than Chicago Bears with less weapons. He didn't have ETN. He didn't have those wideouts, Ridley and those guys. He didn't have Zay and all these guys. Would you pay? Are you paying Justin Fields next? Because is he going to be the guy that gets fucked with all these guys?
No, he's not getting paid because Justin hasn't. The thing about Justin, he hasn't won at all. At least with Trevor, again, he had the 1 year where they made the playoffs, came back against the Chargers. You always say how they were a couple plays away from beating the Chiefs. So that's really this one season where I think the Jaguars organization and their fan base are holding on to with what? That's what we can be. So they're paying him based upon that season, in my opinion, because other than that, he hasn't really done anything. Again, a record of 20 and 30. Forget stats. Let's look at wins and losses. That's what matters the most. To me, winning and losing is a quarterback statistic, and he has a losing record to this point. You bring up Dak Prescott and ask me would I feel the same way about Dak next year when it's his time to get paid. I mean, I don't think I would because, again, listen, technically speaking, if you're not the best quarterback in the league, then yeah, you don't deserve to be paid like the best. But we know that's not exactly how it works. But at least with Dak, we can say what he wanted about in the playoffs. But the guy, first of all, he makes the playoffs every single season. Number one. Number two, he's either number one or second in the division. It seems like every single year, winning double-digit games. I mean, the last 2 years, I think they're 24 and 10. He's won more games the last 2 years than Trevor Lawrence has done in the totality of his short career so far. So I just it's hard to compare Trevor Lawrence to Dak because, okay, we can talk about the lack of success in the playoffs, but at least Dak is there. Trevor, the Jaguars was leading the AFC South, clear-cut favorites last year. We got two rookie quarterbacks in the division, and AR5 and CJ Stroud and shit damn near. I think with the Titans, you had Will Levis playing a lot. That quarterback situation was kind of weird last year. So everybody named Mama thought the Jaguars was going to win the division, and they laid an egg again and fucking lost and missed the playoffs and let a rookie quarterback and a rookie head coach beat them in the AFC South and win it. So I just don't understand, what are we seeing from the Jaguars? What are we seeing from Trevor Lawrence on a consistent level, consistent basis that's telling you guys that this is our quarterback? Has he shown flashes? Of course. Is he super talented? Of course. He was like Caleb Williams in terms of how the praise he was getting coming out of Clemson. People were trying to figure out a way to change the rules so he didn't have to stay in college for 3 years. He could come out after his sophomore year and this, that, and the third. He was a big deal, but he has not lived up to the hype at all. And that's not dissing him at all. That's just it's a literal fact. D Jones, you're such a fan that you can't see past your fandom. You cannot sit here and tell me with confidence that Trevor Lawrence has played to his potential. Come on, bro. That don't make sense. Just keep it real.
I don't agree, only because.
So hold on real quick. So you're saying he deserves this money then? So you're this is weird.
No,
this is crazy.
No, I don't.
Okay, we do agree then.
Yeah, but deserving the money is what we talk about on the show all the time. I don't think any of them deserve it. I'm the only one on this show that sticks to those guns every day. None of these cats deserve it.
If that's the belief, you should have asked this question then. So it's a pointless question because if you think nobody deserves it, then there's no conversation, nothing to even talk about.
The question is, should he be the highest paid in the NFL? That is what he is, and that's what the question was. It's not about should he have got the money. It's should he be the highest paid?
Okay, should he be the highest paid then? Answer that question.
So that is the question, and we already know that's a no. I mean, we agree then. That. But here's the point is, though, that all these dudes, this is I try to tell y'all, you keep making jokes and shit, but the mediocrity is the new excellence in the NFL at quarterback position. I'm just telling you. And we're going to continue to see a heightened salary cap because of the quarterback position. They'll never do separate caps, which we've talked about on this show. But you're going to continue to have an increase in salary cap for the rosters because of the quarterback position being so godly high. And I think it's ruining the position. And I think it's ruining the game in the NFL at the NFL level, only because of more demanded trades, more enabled thinking by player empowerment to where people think they can go get this money when they see these guys get these exorbitant amounts of money. And that's what I truly believe. I'm just be honest. Trevor Lawrence has a skill set of a top 10 guy. No question.
Yeah, for sure.
Throw every ball, make every throw. He makes big-time throws. Like, he has the number one draft pick capabilities.
Yeah, he does.
But see, I'm the same way when I talk about Daniel Jones, so I'm going to keep the same energy with Trevor Lawrence. And I have to be real. He hasn't been around the greatest of situations, just like all these guys I discuss all the time. We talk about, by the way, people don't realize Sam Darnold is very, very close to this skill set.
Yeah.
We just haven't seen it.
But JB,
There's a difference.
There's a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL who has an amazing skill set, but how does that translate to the football field? How does that, so much of football in general, especially the QB position, isn't just about skill set. It's about intangible. It's about decision making. It's about reflexes, instinct, being able to read the defense, being able to know your checks, being able to get the ball out on time. It's not, if it was a conversation of who's the best 7-on-7 quarterback with no pressure, none of that, then yeah, maybe the quarterbacks would be different. Brady wouldn't be the GOAT. It'd be a whole other conversation. But football has so much more to do with that. And I just think when I'm watching Trevor Lawrence play, when I'm watching, Sam Darnold play to this point, it's that side of it. It's never been a talent conversation. It's just you're not making proper decisions. You're not making big plays in big moments. You're not being the leaders of the franchise. And yes, I understand he's been in a bad situation, but typically when you are a top quarterback, a number 1 overall draft pick, or even a top 5 quarterback, you're being drafted to a bad situation, and they're counting on you to be the savior. That's what it is. And that's why you get paid highest paid money. You know what I'm saying? Like, two things can't be true in this situation. You can't be the number 1 highest paid quarterback in the league, and then we also give you an excuse to say, well, it's been tough for him. No, well, he's getting paid for that toughness. Now get them out of it. So that's where I'm at, JB, man. You spoke about player empowerment, though, JB, and I feel like that's a perfect transition to the next topic that's on the docket. Alvin Kamara, running back for the New Orleans Saints, is apparently sitting out of minicamp over a contract dispute. Ian Rappaport posted this today during the final minicamp practice there Thursday. A couple other guys not participating either. You see the list below. I guess, what's your response to this? What's your reaction to this? Alvin Kamara, when healthy and on the field, is honestly one of the best all-around running backs. He's kind of similar skill set to CMC. If you really look at the numbers and look at what he does when he plays full seasons for that team, can catch out the backfield, great balance, man. It's hard to take that guy down. Elusive. Again, contract dispute right here. He didn't have the best year last year. I think when he suspended the first few games, if I'm not mistaken. So I guess what's your take?
Listen, just because you are JUCO doesn't mean you have to be fucking JUCO. Ooh. That is what these cats don't understand. He was the same way at Hutchinson Community College in Kansas as he is now. This is a guy who gets 3rd and 4th, like, you know how a cat has 9 lives?
Yeah.
This cat has extended his life in this game over and over and over, and has been paid for his position and continues to have a job in the NFL, even though he's had a felony outside. He's had issue after issue, and then he has the audacity, no humility with these kids, man. He has the audacity to sit out and act as if he's just the guy, the cream of the crop. I don't understand these cats nowadays, man. I would have been so fucking humble that I got to come back to the league after I'm on camera in Vegas doing what I did, and then I'm allowed another opportunity. I'm trying to fucking prove my worth to an organization that's paying me my salary instead of sitting out, negotiating and doing it now, like doing it right now. There's a lot of teams in this league that I think lack a true leader. And it goes back to my point of out of the 32 GMs, 30 of them did not play the sport. And I think there's a true lack of leadership at this professional level of things, because I don't believe there's a relationship being built by the GM, the guy that's actually structuring contracts and doing the power plays behind the scenes. If there were a player versus former player relationship with those money guys, I think it would be different. That's just my opinion.
Man.
But this is the most replaceable position in the NFL, Smitty. Running back. Again, it's tenfold now. You have off season, you have the off-field issue. You now want to sit out, and let's keep it funky. He saw that white boy CMC get paid.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's thinking he feels a kind of way.
Of course. And his agent is telling him to do this too. It's not always the player. Most of the time, the agent is saying, hey, Alvin, it would be beneficial for you business-wise to sit out. You are a top 5 running back in this league. I think currently he's the second highest paid or third highest paid running back in the league behind CMC right now. And maybe Saquon. I can't remember. I haven't seen the latest, but he's in the top 5 for sure. So, and again, he really does have a very similar skill set there. For the Saints, he is one of the Saints' best players on that team. Now, again, he's getting a little older, so I don't know how much he has left in the tank. So I don't know how much leverage he truly has, but I'm sure he's talked to his agent. His agent's like, listen, man, this is the leverage that you have. And listen, I always defend the players on this because, I don't think he wants to sit out. But when players don't sit out, they don't get paid unless you're quarterback. Quarterbacks, they're in a separate category. You know, quarterbacks can if you're a quarterback and you're decent, you're going to get paid because they just have no choice but to pay you. But all the other positions, I feel like the only leverage you have as a player is to sit out. Real quick, though, there's a video, I believe, of the Saints offensive coordinator, Kubiak, speaking on Alvin Kamara. Let's check this out real quick, Bailey.
After the walkthrough today, did you talk to him at all?
No, I have talked to him when he was here last couple of days. He's been great. Talked to him on the phone, even when he was gone. We've been in constant communication. Really loved what he put in the work yesterday and in the walkthrough. But I don't have any other comment on after that.
There it is, man. Kind of similar, comment as to your boy Solid made. Been constant communication. He was great when he was here. I don't really have much more to say. Again, I don't think players, for the most part, want to sit out. These players want to be there with the teammates. They want to play. They want to compete. But at the same time, man, NFL stands for not for long. You got to make every single cent you can, because when the shit is over, it's over, especially for the running back position, because we know once they get close to that age 30, that's when you start to really decrease and decline, and it's a wrap. So from a competitive standpoint, it's like, get your ass out there. It don't matter what it is. You've gotten in trouble before. Prove yourself. I get that side, JB. I feel you. Like my ego, my competitive nature agrees with that. But on the other side, from a business standpoint and thinking right here, it's like, bruh, you got to make your bread. No matter what I believe, you believe, nobody else believes. At the end of the day, you got to take care of you and your family to the highest level. And this is the only leverage they have.
Yeah, I just think we've lost the reason why or how we got here and why we're playing this game. Like, we lost all that. And I think that we make mistakes in this world. Humans make fucking mistakes
all the time.
By the way, when I said the white boy CMC, that wasn't a race bait. That was just me saying that's just me being me. I don't need to explain who I am.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be honest. He saw cats getting paid and was like, okay, this happened. We just talked about this all last offseason.
Yeah.
The running backs being underpaid and blah, blah, blah. The bottom line is you can't have too much baggage, dog, and then still expect to miss and get paid. And to me, that's a personal mental thing. Like, I understand you should get your money and do your thing, but you also have to perform for that money, in my opinion. Last year, the Saints were running back by committee. It wasn't like this guy was a 2,000-yard guy. Like, if you're a committee team and runs by committee at that position, then you're an expendable asset. Just throwing it out there. Or you're a forgotten commodity. And that's where they are. I wouldn't be shocked, dog. Like, let me ask you this before we move on. At what point, what's the tipping point for Kamara with the Benson-owned New Orleans Saints? What is the tipping point to where they say, fuck it, get out of here? Because I don't believe there's going to be a strung-out, long negotiation. He's not 23 years old.
Right.
He's not as fast as he once was.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not the dynamic guy that he once was when it comes to touches and red zone scoring and leading the NFL in total touchdowns like he did a few years back. Where are you at as far as the longevity of his tenure at New Orleans? Because I could see it basically saying, you know what? Bye. Because I'm just saying, like, he ain't the difference, Smitty. He ain't the difference at this stage in his career of wins and losses and that team.
I think he's going to his year 8 too. You know what I mean? I just it's just tough, man, because the nature of the running back position at this stage in the game and the way the game is played today just doesn't hold as much importance or weight or value as it once did back in like the 90s, where you handed the ball to your guy 35 times and it literally set the pace and the tone of the game. Running backs are still utilized and they're still useful, but like you said, they're the most replaceable position on the field just because we're in a pass-happy league and they just really run the ball just in super short yardage situations or just to throw the defense off a little bit so they can set up the play action. But it's not like most teams aren't just handing the ball to their guy because they feel like this is the best option. It's really just to add a diversity to the offense. You know, there's a few running backs in the league that I feel like they actually, you know, all right, this guy can get busy. CMC, Jonathan Taylor when healthy, Derrick Henry, of course. I think Saquon when healthy, Josh Jacobs are probably the top 5 that comes to my mind. Alvin Kamara, when you look at his numbers, man, he's never even had a 1,000-yard rushing season. Never. But the thing that makes him such, you know, high value at one point in his career is that he'll have 900 rushing yards and he'll have 700 receiving yards. So you look at him as a total offensive weapon in the package. And you ask what's the tipping point? I don't know. I mean, he kind of reminds me of the situation. Like we've seen this before. Like Le'Veon Bell, we've seen him sit out, and then what happened with him? His career went to shit. We seen Melvin Gordon sit out and for a little while and came back, and his career went down the drain. So I just think I don't know. That's a great question, JB. I really don't know the answer. Like
he's on a steady decline. He's on a steady decline since his he had 16 touchdowns, I believe, in 20. He's been on a steady decline. He's had total since the 16 touchdown year of 2020. Mm-hmm. He's had a total of 11 in the last 3 years. So 16 and 20 and 11 in the last 3. And yards wise, he's gone downhill, and touches wise, just so we know. So the year that he had the most yards and touchdowns, he had the least amount of attempts. So that tells you he was highly efficient in a highly efficient schemer and head coach. Then what happens is what? He has a spike by 60 touches, but he has 40 less yards and 12 less touchdowns. Just a year later. Then a year after that, he has less yards, less touchdowns, and less attempts.
And I know we're not counting because I know for a fact he got hurt, and I know last year he was suspended. So I know I'm just giving the context. I know those are some of the factors and some of the context. But that still matters though when you're talking about getting paid. You know, the best ability is availability.
Your context proves my whole fucking point as to why are you sitting out.
Right, I'm with you. And that year he had 16 touchdowns. I know on paper it's like, oh my God, 16 touchdowns. But if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, chat. I have a memory of like around Thanksgiving, or maybe it was Thanksgiving. He had a game in which he got like fucking 6 touchdowns in one game. It was an amazing game, but again, you take that away, then it's like a regular season. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that year was like an outlier year because of that. You said it was Christmas. Yeah, it was a Christmas. I think that game maybe he had like 6 in one game. So that kind of. That 16 isn't a true, I think, visual of how his typical seasons go, if that makes sense. So I like him as a player. I don't know how much leverage he has in this situation, especially because at the end of the day, it's not like the 49ers where like CMC is a large part of that offense. Like they do a lot with him, and it leads to wins though, right? where the Saints they utilize Alvin a lot, but it don't lead to shit. It's like, who are the Saints? None of us are on here like the Saints might actually win it all this year. Like, they're in the worst division probably in the NFL. They lost the division last year to Baker and the Bucks. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't. It's like, okay, Alvin goes out there and rushes for 1,000 yards this year. Whoop-de-doo. They still probably only win 8-9 games. You know, so it's just like the running back position at this point, it just doesn't hold a lot of weight, a lot of value, and I think that's just part of the conversation.
Yeah,
so,
first of all, I don't agree. I don't agree with the 6 touchdown thing. That's fucking. He scored 6 touchdowns. You guys are acting like he didn't score those touchdowns in the game or something. Like, who gives a fuck if he scores 20 touchdowns and he had 10 in one game? It doesn't matter. It doesn't take away from the season, in my opinion. Because I think as a coach, so that 6 touchdown game obviously was there for a reason. Did they win that game?
No, it's phenomenal. I'm just saying it's like an outlier almost. It's like, okay, for example, like if I got, let's say game 1, I just had a hell of a game. I get 5 sacks, but then the rest of the season I only get 2 sacks. You look at the season. Oh, Smitty had 7 sacks, man. That's a hell of a season. But about 7 sacks. But like, but the rest of the game is like, I think about it like basketball. We talk about basketball all the time. Anthony Davis had 20 points in the first half and then only shot 2 fucking times in the second half. Okay, well, he had he had 22 and 12. He had
Khalil Mack.
It's the same conversation.
Didn't Khalil Mack have 11 sacks or some shit last year?
He had like a 5 sack game, but he had like, what did he have total? Like 19, 20? So like his shit's different though. He had and Khalil Mack has had 15 sack seasons.
I don't look
been
at
doing this. So
I don't look at it like that, because if that's the case and we thought that way as a whole, then when Patrick Mahomes throws a bubble screen to Tyreek Hill and he goes 93 yards, and I talk about yak yards with Patrick Mahomes and everybody in here goes fucking crazy, then what's the difference?
Listen, I'm not saying it's a distance. Literally, bro, all I'm saying is that year, as you alluded to and listed all of his numbers, was a little bit of an outlier, and that was just the one game that comes to mind of why that season of 16 was the only season in which he got 16. It'd be different if he always lingers around 14, 13. No, he had one just outlier 16 season, and the rest of them was fucking.
Well, hold on though.
So that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you're wrong. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but he had a 14 touchdown year too.
Okay, boom. You corrected me then. Cool. Boom.
No, I'm just saying he had a 14 touchdown year a year prior to that. So he was on he started the league off with 8 touchdowns as a rookie.
Yeah.
On only 120 touches for 700.
He's good now. Again, I told you from the jump. He's fucking. I'm not dissing. That's not an Alpha Kamara diss from my side. It ain't.
Yeah, I'm just saying he's in no negotiation. He should not be at the negotiation table. I'm just telling you right now. That's bottom line is we'll end it at that.
And speaking of negotiations, JB, I think this is another good segue, man. The Big 12 is exploring selling its naming rights to a title sponsor and are in negotiations with Allstate, among others. You are the college football legend on this show, the coach, the expert, etc. How will this affect other conferences in this NIL era of college football, as the Conference USA has also been in negotiations for naming rights as well, JB? Educate us.
Listen, this is all because there's a $2.8 billion antitrust deal going on. And what's happening now is these conferences are going to try to, what we talked about to start the show, they're going to try to oversell you and underdeliver when it comes to paying out dollars to the kids. The NCAA and these conferences, don't get it twisted, are still in cahoots. The non-caring assholes of America, the NCAA, is still going to try to do bare minimum when it comes to players. That's why they've passed the buck to NIL collectives, and this is why they've allowed to be the judge, jury, and executioner. This is another way of telling the conferences, listen, you need to go figure out your TV contracts and everything that has to do with outside money before something happens with either the NCAA breaking apart, like I told you they would with the Power 5 conferences.
Long time ago you said it.
And the SEC saying, you know what, we're out. We don't have nothing to do with you anymore. The Big 12 is now saying we got to go get our own funding from outside sources before this antitrust $2.8 billion pays out all these kids from years and years ago. Look, you got fucking 1983 NC State basketball team suing now.
Right.
So all this shit's going to happen here shortly. I would expect to see more and more of this with these big-time corporate sponsors, which we talk about on the show all the time, taking over the NFL and the NBA, filling those stands up, are corporate sponsors, not the old school paint-the-face fan. Because, Smitty, let's just keep it real. You can't afford it no more. The paint-the-face fan with 2 little kids who've never been to a game and a wife can't afford going to a game no more. So these guys have boosted the prices so sky high. It's as high as giraffe pussy, man. The world is high as giraffe pussy. So if I can't go to a game, then guess what? We got to go get corporate sponsors to attend our games to look like it's an optical illusion on TV to big paying sponsors like Allstate, like Toyota, like Chevrolet. All these different companies now you'll see associate themselves with a conference. We talked about this years ago, Matt and I. You're going to start seeing associated deal branders with these conferences. And this is nothing different than the Notre Dame model that they did with fucking ABC 25, 30 years ago.
Being NBC, being independent and just kind of making their own side money. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good example.
They were the first one to do it, and everybody thought they were, oh man, they're the outside the box thinkers. They've been doing this with NBC for how long? And this is no different. This is what's going to become college sports. And I don't know, man. It's very scary as where we're headed, because now there's a reason why we had what was called amateurism. There was amateurism. You couldn't violate that amateurism because if you did, you were considered a pro. And then if you got an agent as an amateur, guess what you did? You violated amateur law and you became a pro. You couldn't play. Good friend of mine growing up, Shay Cotton, did it. He left JUCO. He goes to Alabama. He plays 1 year. He gets an agent. And guess what? Didn't get drafted in the NBA draft. And guess what? Because he hired an agent, he couldn't go back to Alabama. Now, if I'm Shay Cotton, I'm suing the NCAA now along with the 1983 NC State team. You know why? Because cats now can go back.
That's a good-ass point.
It's so fucking non-thoughtful when these guys come up with these fucking 1,000 rules. See, when addition by subtraction, I talk about all the time, but subtraction by addition is also a thing. You don't think about the future is bad leadership. Because if I'm a leader and I'm creating a plan and a forecast model of what's to come ahead, and I'm thinking of my summer plan for my team and my spring recruiting plan, I'm already thinking of this in fucking 10 months ahead. So why can't you get a bunch of billionaires and from all these different conglomerates and come out and come up with a forward-thinking way to say, you know what, dog, if we do this, Reggie Bush is going to get his Heisman back. If we do this, they're going to reinstate the USC National Championship. If we do this, we're going to now become professional football, and we're going to get sued for $2.8 billion. If we do this, we're going to have to pay kids from 1983. So why haven't they thought of any of this shit? Like, why can't you fucking think about a schedule and what is going to hit you in the ass if you do these things? We're just throwing shit at the wall, dog, and hoping that shit sticks. And it's unfortunate because now you're seeing people panic. This is a panic move. I got to go get a fucking Allstate to sponsor my conference. Dog, just remember a few years ago, Smitty, we'll move on. Remember they made the Big 12 and they called it like, they had these fucking weirdo names?
Yeah, I do remember that.
What was like the Big 12 North was the fucking Lions.
It was some weird name. Yeah, I remember you talking about. It was some weird name.
and the South was like the Crushers or whatever the fuck they did. Dog, That's a proof to me. We're reaching in everything we do. There's no true leadership. There's no real sought out plan. What happens is, Smitty, when you see money and crazy amounts of money coming in and you see what's on the wall, you just do whatever. You think of whatever. You don't think about any of that other shit. And I just think that's what you're seeing right now.
I have nothing to add to that, JB. That's why you are the college football expert, the legend. That's why I wanted you to jump on there and kind of educate myself and all of us in the chat. Moving back to the NFL here before we move to our commercial break and start bringing in all our special guests, because today is a loaded show. Make sure y'all send in your super chat all throughout the show so we can continue to grow this thing, not for us, but for y'all, man. So next topic, man, we got Calais Campbell. The Dolphins signed him to a deal to go alongside, Jalen Phillips on that D-line, Bradley Chubb on the outside as well. Me, I'm a D-line lover. I love this. I love the games that they play. I love the physicality. I love just the toughness it takes to play the position. Got to ask you, JB, and I can answer first, actually. Will Calais Campbell be able to fill the void with Christian Wilkins gone to the Raiders? Listen, let me jump in first. I love Calais Campbell. He's had a phenomenal career. I think he's done enough to be a Hall of Famer. Not only is he great on the field, he's a great guy off the field. You get a chance to talk to him, meet him, and see some of the philanthropy and things that they do. I know it has nothing to do with the football field. I'm just showing him his love and giving him his flowers real quick. But on the football field, man, I think for the beginning part of the season, the first, let's call it 4 to 6 games, I think he'll be able to fill the void for that time frame. But after that, I think Calais will kind of start to decline. And the only reason why I say that is he's old now. And if you look at his last few years, man, Calais often will start off the season like on a high. He'll get, he'll have multiple sack games, 3 sacks in game 1, 2 sacks game 2, 4 in game 5. Like he'll start off on a high and then he kind of hits that decline just because I think it's just age. There's no knock towards him at all. Where Christian Wilkins is kind of, I feel like, literally in his prime. I think Calais will hold it down and he won't be a liability, but I don't think he'll make the same impact that Christian Wilkins would have made. This is a good pickup though for the Dolphins. Like at the end of the day, if you lose a big time defensive lineman, why not get a veteran guy who at least can hold down the fort? Like he's not going to be out there a liability getting drove back. Never. He's never been that type of guy. I just don't think he'll be the exact same playmaker at this point in his career that Christian Wilkins would be in his career. But that's just my thoughts there. I got a bigger question though for the Dolphins in general. I feel like the AFC East is wide open right now, man. The Patriots are in a rebuild. The Bills, they don't have really any just weapons really right now outside of just obviously the Ivis and Josh Allen. The Jets, we hope Aaron Rodgers can stay healthy and be, the Aaron Rodgers of old. But the Dolphins, man, with all the pickups that they have, they got OBJ, Jalen Ramsey going to be healthy. They just got, Calais Campbell, Tua's going to be healthy. On paper, they look good. Like, do you think that they finally will get over the hump and just win a playoff game? Like, no Super Bowl, just win a playoff game. Because it's been a long time, I think, since Miami has won a playoff game, if I'm not mistaken.
I think Campbell is a lack of leadership signing.
Oh, okay. Like a Udonis Haslam for the Heat type shit.
That's all he is, in my opinion. First of all, right now, his body structure, just so we're clear, like he's a very long, tall, big, tall, long. If you look at the interior guys in the league that are successful nowadays, they're the short, squatty body, quick, fast twitch, demand a double team, stay low. Over the years, this 37 years old guy has taken a pounding on his knees, on his hips, on the double team. I believe he becomes a leadership addition in the locker room. And I believe Miami feels they need probably somebody like that in that locker because I don't even know if their head coach is like that type of guy. I think this guy is a 37-year-old veteran who's seen it all in this league, and I think that is the signing because he's definitely not he doesn't even play like half the snaps of a football game. I don't believe, not anymore. So I think I think it's more of a leadership thing, getting that C on and maybe wear the captain logo on his shirt. I don't know if he's a guy that I'm going to depend on to win me a game or a playoff game at this age in his career. Like, he's not the guy, Smitty, that's going to get up the field and get me a sack on third down in a playoff game.
Right. Not today.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And at this stage for the Miami Dolphins, I don't know if you can afford to sign that guy. You need a guy to get you a sack on third down in a playoff game. I don't know what
they signed him for, though. Like, I'm sure they didn't give him no big bag, I'm sure. It's probably some bottom of the pack money, I would assume so. So I don't know though, JB. I mean, we shall see. Shout out to Calais still getting that money. But we do got to go to our commercial break, JB, because when we come back, man, we got a loaded line. I think we got Matt Machesi's coming on first. And then from there, just a rolling effect. Shaun Kane, Jeff Nadu, who knows? JB might have an AE pull up, and then just serve him food with nothing on. We don't know what's going to happen. It's Free Game Friday. You guys stick around to watch. Become a member if you're not one. And we going to be right back in a couple minutes, man.
Rick George in Colorado news again. Rick George has come out.
Colorado news, sweet.
Hey, Rick George has come out in some Colorado news and said this.
You just save all the Colorado shit for when I come on.
Yeah.
The only ones that are for you are in this room, in this building, and our fan base. Everybody else is against you.
Clean Jays.
You see all the naysayers out there. They got us 14th in
Discipline wins right there. Big as fuck. Look at that.
the conference. Figure that. 14th in the conference. That's a sign of a lack of respect. But the only way you get that respect is you go out and earn it.
Why is he reading off the thing?
It's about us. And I believe that you have to have an appetite for hard work. You gotta want it. Every day that you come in here, when you go down and see Mo and the team down there, you gotta want it. You gotta want to win that championship so bad that nothing else matters.
Now, look, be real careful, you two, going in on my man Rick George. I ain't gonna hear it.
I know Rick. I'm cool with Rick.
I'm cool with Rick. Me and Rick.
Be real careful here.
Hey, let me ask you something. First of all, I don't like that he's reading off the thing. I know Rick.
Who gives a shit? It's notes, dog.
Because I know Rick well enough, so he should have came in there and been like, "Hey, man, we're ranked 14th. Fuck that. Let's go."
He did.
That's what I want to see. I don't want to see
It's just notes, JB. Shit, man, can't even note. You got notes.
JB, he hates notes. As a coach, like, you should.
I hate notes. I hate
everything
it.
should be here in heart.
You don't like notes? You don't want your players taking notes?
No,
yes, my players.
The coaches don't know.
I want everybody taking fucking notes, dude.
No. Matt's
I'm so confused right now. Why is
JB saying when the coach's approach is talking to the team or like a speech to hype them up, whatever the case may be, it should be like natural. It should be from the brain, from the heart. You don't know.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. Well,
come on, Matt. Come on, Matt. Matt.
It's a pretty funny thing to criticize, bro. He's the fucking AD.
Here. Okay.
You're really reaching on this one, homie. He looked at his notes like twice.
Do it, JB.
And I'm doing Robert. Do
it. Do Robert Saleh.
The crow came down. Make sure you guys understand, when the eagle flies, the crow could eat the eagle, and then you get two crows. And then, listen, HBO, I know we're on Hard Knocks. Goddamn. The eagle flew down, and Aaron Rodgers, he was going to stay healthy this year. Get the fuck out of here, man. It's so disinterested. I'm so fucking disinterested when I see a guy with notes. When I see a guy with notes as a head coach or a GM or an AD or a fucking owner, I don't need to see notes. Here's the thing about it. Matt, he said something though he said something that's gonna piss you off though, and I have to piss you off before you leave the show. I want to piss you off before you leave the show so we can get a good vertical.
You can't make me mad, motherfucker.
Here's the thing. He said one thing that stood out to me on his note cards. And what he said was, that should make you mad on blatant disrespect on how they have us ranked 14th. Why? Sure. Motherfucker, what have you done? What have you done in Colorado to deserve higher ranking? How are you ranking? Why should you be ranked higher than 14th?
So let's do it your way. You're ranked 14th, and that's where you belong. You all suck. Get better. That's not gonna work.
Fucking right. That's it, Matt. That's it. It's exactly what I would have did. Exactly what I would have did. Here's what it'd been right here. All right, guys, listen. They got us ranked 14th. Okay? Fucking 14th. 14th. And guess what? I'm going to give them a big shit fucking sandwich that we're ranked 14th. You know why we're 14th? Because we ain't done shit yet. We ain't busted a grape in a fruit fight yet, motherfuckers. So how about you fucking get off your soap story and feeling sorry and get your motherfucking asses ready to go win the goddamn conference. Now let's go and go. Yeah! Yeah! That's what they would have did. Fucking book.
Got y'all ass beat when they got your ass beat game 1 going against Ball State in Matt's, Colorado.
Look, I personally think that Rick George is a G, and I love him, and he does a great job. He's not up there to hype everybody. He has been there forever, though, and seen greatness. He was part of the staff when they won in 1990. So
it's a dope name, Rick George.
He's been around, bro. Everybody knows Rick. So I think that him using a notepad or whatever, if that fires you up, then okay, that's what hill you want to die on. But I think he's actually done a really good job, and I don't have a problem with this at all.
No, I have no issue with that either. I was fucking around, but
I'll tell you this, bro. I don't know if I've ever been more nervous for the start of a season in my entire life.
Yeah, I'm talking about the fact that he said
North Dakota State is scaring the shit out of me.
What up? What up? What up?
What up? What up? What up? It's the first in the month. Wake up, and catch your chest and come on, get up. It's the first of the month. Get up. Yes, before y'all time right there, y'all. What's going on, chat? What we got going on, man? What's going on? JB, it's Friday, man. How you feeling right now? Before we move on, how you feeling right now? Exactly. You got the cigar lit. You ain't smoked cigars all week because you've been in the studio. Do you feel better with a cigar in your hand?
I mean, I smoke on the way to the studio, on the way home from the studio. I got to make an Orange County run today. I got to go give me a bunch of cigars today because tomorrow, Steve Kim and all the boys are coming over, and I'm going to cook me a little food, and we're going to watch that Tank fight. And what's that fight on, though? I got to make sure I got this.
That's a good question. I really don't know.
PBV.com.
PBC? Oh, is it PBC? Oh, PPV is pay-per-view.
I don't know. Do I have that on my TVs? How do I get that?
You get every single fight ever.
But I'm saying, how do I get that on my TV behind?
You got 8 TVs, JB. I'm sure one of them can get. Is it Amazon?
I don't know how I'm going to get that.
PBC, PPV on Prime Video. So you got Amazon Prime.
It's on Amazon Prime?
But like pay-per-view on Prime, yeah.
So I can go on Prime and get it?
I believe you should go on Prime and just pay for it there. I believe so. Based upon what I'm reading. Live on PBC.
By the way, I don't do. Smitty, when you tell these motherfuckers I don't do the pay-per-view, I don't do none of that shit. So you can say I look. What the fuck is Stream East? You think I really know what the fuck that is? You motherfuckers.
I ain't gonna lie. I've used Stream East quite a bit.
There's a huge, like, what's the word? Separation between. I think these younger cats are so delusional that it's like the Kamara thing. Yeah. They literally think that you automatically need to understand and know everything they need to know. Do you motherfuckers know what a pager is, bitch?
They probably don't, JB.
I know they don't. That's what I'm saying. These motherfuckers, huh? But I'm supposed to know what the fuck Stream West is. Get the fuck out of here.
Stream East.
Stream East, whatever.
I ain't gonna lie, it do work though, and it be so damn clear.
But I can't do it on my TV though.
You can, you got smart TV, but you would need somebody young who knows how to use it to like really like set up for you. So I'm still trying to figure out if I cut them raw, it'd just be a game time decision. So I'll let you know. I got a few things I need to get like on my car, but like before I drive out there, I need to get my O2 sensor because you told me that shit. You said it ain't that serious, but it could cause issues if you don't get fixed quick enough. Then I saw my tire. I don't have a spare. My tire has like some two minor. What's the word? Like It's not a hole, nothing like that. It's like 2 slits on my tire, if that makes sense. So it just needs to get repaired. So I don't know if I need to go buy some Fix-A-Flat, I think is what it's called, or what. Before I make a drive all the way to your crib, like, you got to make sure motherfucking gas is filled, tires is good, fucking engine cool, because I can't afford to just get stuck halfway to fucking hell going to your crib. So that's where we at with it, though.
Bailey, I sent you a DM on Twitter. I want to show you something real quick. This is the world we live in right now.
Okay. It's Free Game Friday.
It's Free Game Friday. So I want to show you something. There was a person doing an OnlyFans content in her car. Nothing like crazy. She's just sitting there, like cleavage. She's talking, and a cop walked up on her. You gotta hear this story, man. It's disturbing yet crazy that we're in this world right now. But this is what we are in. This world we're in right now is like I believe it's like an illusion or something. It's like a weird fucking illusion. I got a good sense on people, life, feelings about my surroundings. Something weird is gonna happen, homie. I hate to put death on life. I'm going to keep life on death, but feels like something weird is going to hit us, like a big earthquake or we got Florida weather. We got weather all the time. Antarctica's got a shitload of earthquakes today. Something's weird is going to happen, dog. It's election year, homie. Every election year. But take a listen to this whole story, Smitty, real quick.
Go ahead. Too fast. Nobody listens to me.
I'm not going to get a ticket.
How do you think that you're going to get a ticket?
I'm going to show my.
No, you're not.
Watch me. Just watch.
Good evening, ma'am. I'm Officer Jones, MPD. You know where I pulled you over?
No.
All right, well, I got you going 65 and I'm 45 back there, okay? Do you have your license or registration on you?
I actually don't have it in this car, but what if I show you these?
Oh, 24. I can see tips on the internet anytime.
Well, what if you...
They fired him.
Well, the video stopped. I never saw the video. I saw the screenshot, though, of the picture. He got fired. The picture that I saw, and maybe they just took it weird or it was Photoshop, but it looked like his hands had ended up grabbing her, grabbing her breast after that point. The way the video ended, it looked like he was leaning over to go grab him. And that's the picture that I saw. So I think he got fired because he did that.
I get huge fake video vibes from that.
It feels that way.
But the cop's real. I looked at it. He got fired.
You think he was in on it, though, and this was on some stupid shit? And it was like...
Maybe he was in on the fucking fire. He was in and said, I want to get out of this. Fuck it. He was a real cop, and he was fired. I do know that.
I do know that.
So if it was a fake video, because it's so fake looking, homie. The girl seems fake. The guy's there in the car. It's a fake video. But the guy got fired. So he must have done it and said, fuck it. It is what it is. I don't know. I guess he got fired for maybe being a part of the fake shit. Who knows? But he got fired.
Right. He was a real cop. So if he was in on it and it was like a whole joke from the beginning, that's just some of the dumbest stuff you could do ever. You got a good job. You're an officer. That's stupid.
There's a worse one here in Cali and San Diego. A cop got in the back seat with a broad trying to hit on an arrest.
Do they not understand that they have like their cameras on them too, though?
But not Scotty Scheffler. Remember that? Cop took his shit off.
Yeah, that's true. It don't make sense. Like it's just stupid. Some stuff is like it ain't too much more to it. It ain't that deep. It ain't nothing behind the scene. It's just stupid. Why would you even do that, knowing the position that you're in? You know what I'm saying? From her perspective, as somebody who has an OnlyFans account, I'm sure her stuff just skyrocketed. It's smart for her actually. Her stuff just now we know who she is. People are interested in what she does. But for him, a career guy, it makes 0 sense. So I don't know, man. Shout out to Chris Ford for paying for our parking on Monday. Coach J Big Smitty, appreciate you, Chris Ford. 8 Laces Consulting, $10. I'm gonna use that for my card. JB.
Hey, by the way, all you guys. By the way, shout out to Chris. All you coaches in here right now. There's a lot of you coaches in here right now. If you don't follow Chris Ford on Twitter, Go follow him because he does he's one of the best resume writers for coaches in the business. So, he has a full website and he helps tons of coaches out there write legitimate resumes to get jobs. So you should follow him, number one. And then he has a website, 8 Laces Consulting. So 8 Laces, go check that out. But he's a Southern California guy who helps guys across the country. So high school coaches across the country, follow him. And you should too. All right.
Let's move on, man. I'm not sure if our guy Big Matt's gonna be able to join or not. So we're gonna just continue with keep this train going. And we gotta talk a little bit of Colorado today. No, it's not a Colorado show for all the haters. We ain't talked about them all week long. News is the news, though. So I saw the other day, JB, that Colorado actually leads college football in transfers in, with 41 total players coming in. So I got to ask you, JB, man, you're a guy who's built programs, you know what it takes to do so. Will Coach Sanders, as you call him, and his staff that have 159 years of NFL playing experience, that they always say, be able to truly develop all these transfers coming in from different schools? Because, I believe they will be able to, but it's a new age, man. And I mean, it's hard to be able to take people from all different schools, cultures, coached up different ways, and bring them in a few months before the season and make them believe in what you have going on. And not just believe, actually have the time to learn and develop that. So it's a huge task ahead of them, but I do believe that they will be able to figure it out enough to get them 7-8, wins this year. I'm gonna stick by that.
Why do you think? And I know I want the Latrells who attach himself with the program as if Latrell's coaching at that motherfucker. I want the Latrells of the world and Big Smitties of the world and all you guys out there that says we when we refer to Colorado. We, us.
I never said we. I'm a Ball State guy.
Not you, but let's dive into this. The question, though. Why did you just say, though, you just said, obviously, I think he will. Obviously, I think he'll develop. Why? What has he developed? Just give me I want to know why and how you think
he developed. So when he was at Jackson State, that team went from nothing to winning double-digit win seasons. Yeah, you could say they lost in the bowl game, but they were there and they won double-digit seasons. He was very successful in what he did at that program.
Who did he develop? That's not the question.
That's what he did there. No, you're asking me why do I believe? I'm giving you why I believe. You say he never developed a program. I'm telling you, he developed Jackson State's program.
No, that's not your question, homie. You just skip over your own question. You said 41 players.
Yes.
You didn't say shit about the team's record. You said 41 players. Give me a player or 2 or 3 or 4 that he developed that has gone on to the NFL. Give me the players that he's developed. We can name 1,000 Nick Saban developed. Give me the player that.
Hold on, but the question isn't about how many guys get into the NFL.
Hold on. You made it the question. You said you obviously believe he will make 41 players better. And I'm asking you and everybody out there.
All right, let me clear up what I said.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll give you a chance. I'll give you a chance. I believe the Colorado team this season will be able to have a successful season with all these transfers all on their team. I didn't say 41 individual players or all be fucking NFL players or all be stars. I'm saying with the additions coming in, I believe that Colorado Coach Prime, Coach Sanders, whatever you want to call him, will be able to create a culture and a system and figure it out of how to still have a successful season and team with all these new transfers in. Again, they're not the only team to do this. This is nationwide. They're just the team that leads. They're the team that leads it. So that's what I'm saying. That's the question.
There's 2 different conversations going on.
It must be.
I want to be sure you're clear. You clear up what
I'm not clear.
Say. So I'm glad you clear up what you thought. But you did say, whether you spoke out of context or not,
JB, you do that all the time, JB. You know what I meant. Come on, bro. You know good well I didn't mean that.
No, I don't know what you meant because 41 transfers is on the thing. It doesn't say 41 victories. It doesn't say my record. It says 41 transfers. You asked me, can he develop 41 transfers? That's your question, homie. What do you mean? You just turned it to a team thing from a player thing. Let's stay on to your point and fairly to your point. Smitty's talking about 41 transfers coming in, equating to victories as a team. To his point, that's what he meant. I'm on a whole nother kick. He asked me 41 transfers are the most in the country. Can he develop those players? And I say no, because he hasn't developed any players to date. And we haven't seen him develop anybody yet. We've seen him do a bunch of mercenary grabs and hires from the coaching and players' perspective, getting a bunch of transfers to come in there, just like other schools. Fair to Smitty's point, we all doing it now. The whole thing's doing it. Can he develop those 41 players? And I say no, because I don't believe you can develop a batch of new players every single quarter of the year, 4 quarters in a year, fiscally. Can you literally lose 30 players, Smitty, and bring in 40 new ones and develop those ones? Well, then something's not adding up, Smitty. Why did we lose 31? So you're telling me the 31 that just left there were getting developed? Wait, I'm missing something here, homie. And it's not just Dion. I'm talking about everybody. I think we have a very, very bad situation in college sports, and the landscape in college football is very, very at a very, very tipping point, I guess I'm going to call it. We're not developing anyone anymore. There's no one being developed like we used to. There's no boys being turned to men. We're not getting better as tacklers. We're not getting better as ball pursuers. We're not getting better as passers. We're not getting better as route runners. We're taking our God-gifted abilities that God touched us with, and then we're just trying to recycle all those guys that's been gifted by God and send them around to different colleges. We're not developing shit, Smitty. We're not developing anything. And I just don't know how long this is sustainable. And how long do coaches really want to coach this way? Like, that's the question I asked the grown men in the room. I could not live with myself doing it this way.
I mean, as long as they paying these contracts, they paying these coaches, they gonna keep on coaching. At the end of the day, it's still a career. I get it. And it's we see the young coaches, they love it. They don't mind the work. They don't mind the transfer portal and all that stuff. They're hungry for it. So that's all it is. It's gonna be the changing of the guard, which we're already seeing. The old heads who are used to doing it one way, the Sabans of the world, they're gonna step down, and the young heads gonna look at it as an opportunity for them to take over and do it that way. At the end of the day, like this shit's gonna keep rolling. It's not going back. We're already out here now. Players gonna keep getting paid. We talked about it in the first hour. These conferences are getting brand sponsors now to pay for them. This thing, we're only at the beginning. It's going to continue to go, and you either just if you're a coach and you want to coach in the profession, you either hop on board and get used to it and learn how to be great in this space, or you step down and say, you know what, it ain't what it used to be. I don't like this, and that's what it is. That's the only 2 options you got. But the train is gonna keep rolling with or without the old heads who don't want to conform to what's new. I'm sure. Listen, I can imagine being a coach and every year just not knowing like who's going to be on your team. But like I think Steve Kim mentioned it, the basketball level has been doing this forever, basically, just because of their rules are different. It's 1 year in college, you go straight to the NBA. So teams like a Kentucky or a Duke or whatever, they always got to reload. So it's kind of, even though they're not transferring in and out, they're coming in for 1 year and they're leaving, or 2 years and they're leaving and go to the NBA. So it's the same kind of concept. You got to rebuild culture, rebuild a team, rebuild. So at the end of the day, you gotta adapt, like with anything, JB, in life. Shit happens that you don't like, that you're not used to. You gotta adapt.
But you're still not addressing the question. You're not addressing my point. I'm just telling you right now, contrary to all these dick riders like this guy, Cornhole, who's a nobody. Stop saying you're not coaching. First of all, I always coach, and I coach every day. I speak to kids all the time. I speak to programs all the time, and I clinic coaches every fucking day that pay me on Zoom. Bitch. Now, what do you do? And what do you coach? Bitch. So first of all, number one. Number two, this other fucking guy said, this guy, M.Baby, who has a picture of a fucking dashboard on his fucking profile.
He's a car.
They be mad he not coaching, bottom line. No, I'm happy I'm not coaching because I talk about it all the time. What do you do, Mr. YouTube profile picture of a CD album? I want to know what you do. Nothing, because you're a nobody on my show every day sucking my dick from the back. You're sucking my dick from the back, M.Baby and Cornhole. Cornhole, your name says it. You suck dick from the back. So having said those things, we're going to move on amicably. I'm just trying to figure out. He's sucking my dick from the back. So for all you geniuses in the chat that don't get it, he's sucking my dick from the back because I'm the frequency. He's chasing the frequency from the back, and my nuts and dick are swinging backwards, hitting him in the face. It's like Joey Chestnut swallowing hot dogs, homie. That's what these motherfuckers are doing. So listen, moving on amicably, Smitty, I do not want to coach in this era because I am not getting anyone better, because we are allowing what we're allowing and we're not coaching what we're not coaching. And the bottom line is we're not coaching this shit no more. We want a bag of money. It's a bunch of young coaches who really haven't really cut their teeth in this profession, in my opinion. They've really got handed jobs because of either a name as a player, a name in the media, or they got handed down something through either a nepotism hire or some sort of public persona. And it's a different landscape. I'm just going to keep it there. I could not live with myself, Smitty, knowing I let a player leave or 30 a year and not being able to get through to those guys and not be able to understand how to coach and reach and teach them. Because if we're just letting them go and they go to another place and another place and another place, what are we really fucking doing? We shouldn't be called coaches no more, dog. Because coaching is teaching and we're not doing either anymore. I'm just throwing it out there. But
you only got so much control over of a player decides to leave, though, JB. I get you. I know in your head, you're one of the best recruiters, so like you would have.
But Smitty, you're losing.
You would assume you could keep him around, but
you're losing 35.
No, that's a lie. I'm with you on that. I'm not arguing the number. I'm just saying that like it's only so much you can do, though.
Do the math, though. If every school loses 35 and gains a new 35 every single quarter. Do the math on that. 132 Division I schools losing 35 kids and gaining another 35 kids. By the way, the 35 you gained, the other school just lost.
Right.
It's the same shit. We're fucking recycling.
They're recycling the same players. They're recycling the same players.
0 sense, Smitty. It makes 0 sense. What happened to the pride in a coach that wants to tell the parent in the recruiting room, in their home, man, I'm gonna educate your son. I'm gonna matriculate him through the process. I'm gonna graduate your son. I'm gonna coach and teach your son how to be a man on and off the football field. I'm gonna get your son ready for the NFL because we're gonna teach him how to lift properly and how to tackle properly and keep our health and keep our eyes up and our neck straight. We're not gonna break our neck. What happened to the teaching of the sport that used to be so detail-oriented that we use those teachings in life later on? Whether it was in a business world, whether it was selling a fucking car, whether it was in the NFL and had a long career. What happened to that? And you wonder why the fucking product in the NFL is declining year in and year out. But what the fuck do I know? Just throwing it out there.
I mean, it's funny. We talk a lot about the transfers. I would want to know a stat of how many players just do stay at one school. I'm just curious. I would love to have that number, and no one ever talks about that. We always flip on the negative side. I want to know how many guys are actually staying where they committed to. I wonder what those numbers. I wish somebody could like put those numbers together, because we just focus on one side, and I just wonder, like, damn, like, is it? Like, are the majority of players transferring or are the majority still staying? Because, like, it's not like every single player in college right now is fucking leaving. There's still guys that will stay at a university for 4 or 5 years and get fully developed. So that's why I don't think it's fully that. I don't think it's fully just guys just leaving, or there's some guys who, all right, they'll leave once and that's it. Okay, that's not that bad. Players left one time when I was playing. They had to sit out a year, but players would leave one time, and when I was playing, so that's not that bad. The issue is when players are leaving 2, 3, 4, 5 times even, and then they just don't build a foundation anywhere. I think there's still my guess, without having any numbers, is that there's still a lot of probably players, I would have to guess, that are either staying at one school or only transferring one time.
1 minute I'm saying D1 is JUCO, and now you couldn't coach. Keep it real. What did I say that's not keeping it real? D1 is JUCO now. What the fuck does that mean?
Well, he's saying that you were a JUCO coach and was a really good JUCO coach, but then at the same time, you're saying that you're glad you're not coaching today because you wouldn't be able to live with yourself knowing that you couldn't develop these players. But if D1 is the new JUCO, then you should fit right in, is what he's saying. Like, it should be nothing to you because it's the same shit.
It's not. Just because I said I can do it doesn't mean I want to. What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? Just because I say I can do it because it is JUCO doesn't mean I want to coach these prima donna pussy boys, Mr. Bollinger or whatever the fuck your name is. By the way, you're the epitome of raising these pussy boys. And you want me to take them from you and be their babysitter. No, motherfucker. How about you raise them at your motherfucking house first? So I don't have to fucking babysit your kids. Because I'm babysitting your fucking kids more than your own goddamn daddy and mama do. And then you will all have the audacity to come out and talk about playing time. Get your bitch asses up out of here, man. You motherfuckers have no clue because you don't coach, you don't understand how to teach, and you don't have a clue how to raise a fucking boy and turn him into a man. But y'all want to be quick to critique my statements on my show. Fucking ironic to me. It's really funny. I can say I don't want to coach, and in the same fucking breath, I can say D1 is the new JUCO, and I could succeed at it. Doesn't mean I want to, motherfucker. Have you heard me say I want to? No. I said I can. Make sure, just like I can take your bitch. Don't get it twisted. That's the problem. You motherfuckers don't understand. But it is what it is. Moving on, Smitty.
The chat saying that you were way nicer at the studio, so I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know.
Because I like it.
It's because he was next to me, too.
So Colorado's gotten 41 in, but they lost 48. So they lost 48, and you brought 41 in. So I want to do the math on that. You lost 48, you brought 41 in. So let me ask you, you're -7 in the hole. So
that's a great score in golf.
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out, how are you going to coach and teach that? How are you going to develop that as a whole? And I'm not just talking Colorado. This is just Colorado. We can do that with every team, by the way.
I mean, we see Louisville right here with 31. That's not a low number. Indiana with 30. These are all high numbers here.
And then let's see how many they lost. And then we can start doing an equation. I'm sure they lost a lot too.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
but that's my point. It's not about Colorado and all this shit. I don't even want to talk about Colorado about this. I'm talking about college landscape. I've been talking about the college game the whole day, not Colorado. Just so everybody's out there clear. I've been talking about the constant movement and lack of coaching and teaching throughout the country. I don't care about Colorado. My whole point was there's no way to teach 48 guys or 41 guys. Smitty, it's almost July. So you're going to fucking be the greatest coach and teacher ever if you can get 41 new bodies to go along with the other 70 guys you have or however many and create a culture and a camaraderie and do it all together right now. And that ain't Colorado. I want to see Louisville do it. I want to see Indiana do it. I want to see Arizona State, who won one game last year. I want to see all these guys do it. You can't, Smitty. You can't, homie. And this is why we're seeing the downfall of college football. That's why you're seeing the downfall of undeveloped or lack thereof in the NFL. We're not developing talent anymore at the college level. We're only recruiting talent. You're not developing talent. You're recruiting talent that was touched by God, and you're just recruiting it and re-recruiting it and recycling it. And guess what? That kid controls the narrative because he tells that coach, hey, coach, nah, I'm going to transfer if you don't play me. I'm going to transfer if you yell at me. Now you have a coach who's like, oh, well, fuck it. I can't get through to this kid anyway. I'm going to bounce too. So guess what happens? Chip Kelly becomes a head coach. He leaves the head coaching job to go be an OC.
Insane.
So what happened to those 40 fucking 60, 80 guys that he was a head coach and promised he was going to develop, and then he just shit and left to become an OC because he don't want to deal with the shit. Think about it. Why are these guys leaving? At least Harbaugh had structure with a coordinator who understood, who was a head coach for 5 games during the season last year due to the debacle in the NCAA's fucking shitty-ass hypocritical takes. At least you had a guy that moved in and transitioned right seamlessly, and a guy left. Those 2 guys were hand in hand in picking the talent on that roster and developing it. He leaves for the NFL. Coach takes over, already understands everything. It's a seamless transition. How many of those are there, though?
Let me ask you this real quick, and before we bring in our guest, and we actually could bring him in, you know, with this question too, man. The one and only Shaun King. What's going on, Shaun? We ask you this, JB. So you talk about how you keep asking how can they do it? How can they do it? How did Michigan do it last year? How did Washington do it last year? How did Oregon do it last year? Like, it's not like you're talking as if every single university just has shitty teams and shitty structure and shitty organizations, but we have as much examples that we have on the negative side. We also have examples on the positive side of teams doing it at a high level and figuring out ways to develop their talent. So all I'm saying is, I'm not saying it's easy, but there is a way. You just need the right leadership in place to do it.
Okay, but I'll give you a fair shot. You can Google it or whatever. Show me the teams that were in the college playoffs last year who had success.
Texas.
Show me the teams.
Texas and Washington.
Show me those. Now explain those teams, Shaun, to Smitty and everybody out there, between those teams and the differences in the teams that lose 48 kids a year and gain 41 new kids every quarter. Tell me the difference in those 4 programs.
I saw the graphic. I would say off the top of my head that I would feel pretty comfortable saying that all 4 of those teams had 15 or less transfers.
And a camaraderie built. Just so we're clear, Washington's head coach that took them to the playoffs last year, over the last 3, didn't really lose much. They gained a Michael Penix. They gained some receivers, and their core nucleus was intact. And you already know Alabama's core nucleus was intact, so we don't even need to go there. And what we've seen with Sark developing the last 2 years, by the way, he lost a quarterback in the playoff who helped him win 2 games, the brother. But he didn't lose Arch Manning, which people thought. He gained Quinn Ewers the year before, which people thought he would lose him when he signed Arch Manning. He kept those guys. Sark's a QB guy, by the way. He kept those guys, and that nucleus for the most part, besides I think they lost a running back and a couple of – the nucleus for the most part is intact. These other schools, Smitty, are trying to become –
So what about Ole Miss, who was on that list? They went 11-2 last year, if I'm not mistaken. What about Ole Miss? 11-2 is a hell of a record. That's a hell of a season. You're not mad. You go 11-2. I'm not mad about that at all. And they're one of the top teams on the list.
Smitty, I'm not mad at it, but the result is the result. They didn't get in the playoff. You lost to a team in the SEC. The SEC is a different ballgame, Smitty.
But I mean, 11-2.
I'm on record this year with Shaun. I said Ole Miss is my favorite in the SEC this year. I think they're my favorite because, though, over the years, I believe they understand what Lane has developed there, and I think they realize the new guys coming into that program understand the program, just like Michigan. When they got a new kid in, they understood the program, just like Alabama. When you come into Nick Saban, you understand the program. That's where I'm at. Like Florida State. Florida State went undefeated, Smitty. They lost all that shit, but they had some transfers. But over the 2-year struggle that he inherited, he developed a program in Florida State. He developed what you walk into is expected. And I think these other programs lack that, and they're just trying to recycle. You don't lose 48 guys and then bring in 41 guys and think that this is – you lost 48, you gained 41 from someone's program. It's the same shit. I don't understand why it's so mathematically hard to understand that the kids you gain left from somewhere. And to me, Shaun, I call it recycled goods, and I think it's someone else's trash.
I think it's bad for college football. I think the way that it's currently set up is completely and terribly inadequate and unsustainable. I will say this: there are coaches that I think are better suited for this environment than others. Lane Kiffin being one. You Smitty, if you look at Ole Miss from the prism of what they really are, really rock solid, strong program, plenty of resources, yet a notch below the elites. So think how many of these recruiting battles for the top kids Ole Miss finishes second or third, behind Georgia, behind Bama, behind Texas. And when you look at the kids that Lane brings in the transfer portal, a lot of the times it's those kids that they have a relationship with, that they recruited their butt off, but the kid just chose a bigger brand out of high school. You know, whereas some of those other programs, especially the newer coaches, they're just trying to change over the roster. So they're taking kids that they may not have a relationship on, and that's the thing that'll be interesting. Can you win like that?
That's a good point. That's a hell of a point, man. I get it. Like I said, I'm just asking questions. Like I said, I think it's new to all of us, and it's a matter of just you got to see it to believe it. Like JB said, let's see it. All these teams listed. Let's see if Colorado can go win 10 games. See if Ole Miss could win that SEC. Let's see it. So,
and Shaun, there's two things going on. There's two conversations I believe we started this thing with. Like Smitty started off with the 41 transfers, and then they lost 48. By the way, they gained 41. And his question to me that threw me off, it wasn't his intent, but his question was, can he develop these 41? And then his development meant as resulting in wins and losses. My intent, Shaun, and I believe you and I are probably on the same page. We're here to develop these 41 kids along with the other 70 in our locker. That is not going on no more. And it's not just Colorado. I'm talking national. This is the issue we have. There's no way that you're developing these guys. And you and I are sitting here breaking down QB play that's at an all-time low, in my opinion, at the NFL level, and we wonder why. You're not developing these guys.
If you put that list up, Bailey, can you put the list up one more time? Deion's in year 2, Brahms in year 2, Indiana first year, Arizona State year 2, A&M first year. So a lot of these programs are guys that are just getting there.
Yeah.
And
Cal again.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see if it's sustainable. I think what Deion is trying to do is have some kind of success while he still has Shedeur and Travis. The interesting thing with Colorado will be if Deion stays, can he develop and turn it into a consistently top-notch program? I mean, that's yet to be seen. But I think he's trying to give Shedeur and Travis as much talent around them as possible so they can try and make a run before they go on to the NFL.
Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. Well, we shall see. But moving on, man, to the NFL with our guy Shaun King, man, former NFL QB legend himself.
Dollar bills, y'all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we saw Josh Allen, man, throwing the football around to his newest weapon, Keynan Coleman, in Bills minicamp. And my question for you, Shaun, and for JB as well, man, with Stephon Diggs being gone, is this addition by subtraction for the Bills? Like, will the Bills still be a top team in that division with these young weapons that a lot of us, are either don't know about or they're just unproven because they're young?
I just don't think you can really tell until we start playing real football that counts. I mean, we've seen rookie receivers come into the National Football League and make a huge impact recently. Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. Keynan Coleman has that same kind of catch radius. I don't think he has the top end speed or maybe is as dynamic as those two, but he's super talented.
Yeah.
But we won't know till we get into games. I mean, it's just anytime you get rid of proven talent and you replace it with new talent, no matter how talented, you don't know if you made the right decision until you play. So we'll see if Diggs goes and has a 85 catch, 1,500 yard, 15 touchdown year in Houston, and they're struggling to throw the ball. I mean, it's going to look like a bad move. If Diggs is up to his own antics and he's frustrated because he's not getting enough targets and Buffalo's running like a well-oiled machine, then it's going to look like the right move. This is one of those things you won't know until we actually start playing the games.
Hey, before Smitty's next question, I got to ask you the topic of the day. Is Trevor Lawrence deserving to be the highest paid guy in the I mean, we started the show off with this, and I know Smitty has some other questions. I just wanted to ask this question.
Shit, JB.
I'd ask you this one right here because I started the show off with this, and I just think player empowerment is fully taken over the league, of course. And
At quarterback.
And we're in a marketplace. We get it. And the salary cap's going to keep increasing because of this position's crazy pay. Like I threw out this a year and a half ago. I said, man, I think the NFL needs to actually have 2 salary caps, one for the QB, one for the roster. But until then, you're going to continue to see the Kamaras of the world who are bitching and moaning about a contract right now at the running back position after seeing CMC sign a big deal a week ago on the cover of Madden. And now the quarterback position, you can basically thank or hate for those things. And I think that's going to be a thing that is just going to – it's been this way, Shaun. We already know. But now the money is just astronomical. Are we in a player empowerment league, though? I mean, world now where their mediocrity is the new excellence, and we're going to continue to see quarterbacks who really haven't won shit get paid Super Bowl winning money?
Yeah, because the NFL has changed, and here's how it's evolved and changed. First of all, of course, the TV revenue has really increased the amount that the salary pool is. But secondly, teams are now paying the position, not the player. And I mean, you look at all the top guys or the most like well-known guys, they're all getting 50 plus a year. It doesn't matter. They don't have to be a 3-time Pro Bowler or NFL champion. That's what they're getting. The crazy thing is now the secondary and third guys are getting 15 a year. Like that's nothing. Like they're just paying that position at a premium level. And you know, for the people that are watching and in the chat room, let me put this in context. Trevor Lawrence has got $200 million guaranteed. The Glazer family bought the Buccaneers in 1995 for $192 million. Just think about that.
That's crazy. That's when you really think about it, it's like, damn, times have changed, ain't they? Like,
look at Jerry Jones. Look at Jerry Jones, what he bought the Cowboys for and what they are now.
He just got more guaranteed than the Glazers paid for the Bucks. And we're not talking about in the 70s. We're talking about 95. So
right. Ain't that long ago.
It's a great time to be a player. Is Trevor Lawrence worth it? Yeah, because somebody's willing to give it to him. Has he earned it? Absolutely not. But it's just about timing. Like, and it just is what it is. You know, that's what these guys are getting.
Is this 21 class or 20? Or is it 21 class? 21 class. Is it the worst class ever or of your generation? Because so it was him at 1, Mormon Milfhunter, Zach Wilson at 2, Trey Lance at 3, Justin Fields was 11, I believe, and Mac Jones, I believe, was 15. 5 QBs in the first round. 1 just got traded from the Bears for a Chico stick and string cheese. He won't even get a contract. Justin Fields, who is basically statistically has better stats than Trevor Lawrence. Number 2, you have Mac Jones, who's now they say looks like a fat, sloppy JB. He looks like me playing. He's now gone for a Chico stick and string cheese. Trey Lance has been a nobody. He's been the biggest. He got the biggest deal and got out of there. He's not even playing. He's a nobody. Nobody knows what Trey Lance is right now. And then you got Justin Fields, who was traded, and then Zach Wilson, who's been now on his second team, and now he's the Mile High MILF Hunter, where he used to be the Mormon MILF Hunter. Where are you at with that class? And can this class this year be worse than that class?
Let me say what 21 is, JB. It highlights again how terrible the National Football League is at evaluating the quarterback position.
Hold on, no, time out. I got to stop you. But this goes back to our 41 transfers at Colorado. My point is we're not developing at the college level no more like you and I once did. So is that not equating to the NFL QB position being so bad and the NFL just having to draft whatever the fuck they have to draft? Like, I don't know if we're developing talent anymore at all at any position, a little less the QB, the most incremental position in football. Where are you at with keep talking, but does it have something to do with each other?
Again, it's not Wilson's fault that he went second. It's not Trey Lance's fault that he went third. It just isn't. It just shows the inadequacy that exists when it comes to evaluating that position in the league. It's at an all-time worst. I'm trying to pull up the actual list right here of where they were. Okay, let's say Jamar Chase went 5, Penei Sewell went 7, Patrick Surtain went 9, Micah Parsons went 12, Rashawn Slater, who was a Pro Bowler as a rookie, went 13, Like, I mean, there was some legitimate, like, game-altering talent in that draft that went behind the Zach Wilsons and the Trey Lances of the world. So hopefully it's a red flag for the NFL, and obviously they didn't learn because it took Drake May 3rd this year, and then some kind of way McCarthy and Bo Nix all went in the top 12 or 13. So obviously they haven't learned. But just because you have a need at quarterback, that doesn't mean that there's the right available, number of guys in that particular draft. Right. But teams just draft them anyway. So
I think you said it best earlier, Shaun. You said it best. You said they're paying the position, not the player. I think that's the best bar right there. The position itself is so valuable that they just feel like we got to at least try. We got to just get somebody. And they don't care who it is.
Very, very perfectly said. And it's the same with the draft, JB. They're drafting the position, not just necessarily the right talent to fill the vacancy. They'd rather swing and miss on Bo Nix than get a 10-year starter at right tackle.
Yeah, that's true. We've seen this show, Shaun, since you and I were young kids. Like, there's been busts that have been taken, from Ryan Leaf to, we can go on and on as far as the quarterback position goes. You could even throw RG3 in the mix with Vince Young and all these other guys. We could talk about how great the college level was, and then they get to the NFL and they don't equate. There's a difference, though, in playing 3 and 4 years in college at one school, get drafted, be a bust, versus playing at 4 schools, get drafted high, and then just being overdrafted because of evaluation purposes. I think there's 2 different things going on here. We lack development at the college level. NFL lacks 30 out of 32 GMs did not play football, Shaun. To me, that's a telltale sign that we have guys making football decisions that never had a clue on it, building a relationship with the football player, having a relationship with what's going on with that guy. Can he really adapt in the locker room? Because you didn't play. You'd have no clue what the locker room entails. And to me, it's hurting. It's hurting the actual draft. It's hurting the evaluation. It's hurting the actual product on the field on Sundays. I just think there's 2 things going on. We're always going to have busts. We're always going to have overdrafted guys. That's not the thing. We're going to see that forever.
Every team, Jay, you don't have to, though. Every team should have a position, and it's only for a guy that they know can truly evaluate personnel.
Yeah.
And his job should
be Ozzie Newsome was great.
His job should be to rank the guys available in this draft by position and then by overall ability. And take the GM, let the GM do his little analytics on the side when it comes to trades. Well, this trade has this value, and if we give you a 4th in 2055, it's worth these amount of points. Like, let them get over in the corner and play with their numbers, but let the football guy rank the players.
So these teams don't have a guy like that. I assume they don't they send scouts to watch these players at the college level and come back and report, or am I tripping?
Now, they do have scouts, and some of those scouts are really good at their job. But just like JB said, 30 to 32 GMs never played pro football. So you can say what you want, and I know you can go on and be a coach and not have played or been great at football. And, I know but listen, there's an advantage that a person that played has when it comes to being able to see the nuances that go along with evaluating personnel. Personnel is not just size, speed, agility. Right? You can't just – he ran this in the 40, but he doesn't play that fast. Xavier Worthy is a perfect example, and it's shocking to me that the Chiefs overdrafted him. He ran blazing fast. When you put that Texas film on, he does not play that fast.
No, not at all. He can't get out press.
Yeah, you don't see him running away from anybody, Smitty. Yeah, I was shocked that the Chiefs made that decision.
But Andy Reid's probably thinking about how he can utilize him himself. Andy Reid's a fucking genius when it comes to his offensive schemes. He's gonna try to find a way to throw it to him in the backfield and do all types of double reverse and all types of situations to make it as easy as possible for this man to just get the ball in his hand. So
before we get off quarterback, I want to point something out about this draft.
Yeah,
Drake May was selected 3rd, yet they say he's light years behind Jacoby Brissett. J.J. McCarthy and Bo Nix were drafted in the top 15, yet it's being reported they're light years behind Sam Darnold, Jarrett Stidham. When you take a quarterback in the first half of the first round and he can't beat out Jacoby Brissett, Jarrett Stidham, and Sam Darnold, you overdrafted said quarterback. It's different if Kirk Cousins is there.
You mean Zach Wilson?
Right. No, but I'm talking about it's different with a Penix because he's behind Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is a Pro Bowler. He's throwing for 4,000 or 5,000. But when your quarterback can't beat out Brissett, Darnold, and the combination of Stidham and Zach Wilson, you overdrafted him. Point blank, period.
And so I agree with you 100%. But I'm hearing some mixed comments when it comes to what's going on in Denver. I actually heard Patrick Surtain, obviously, they're probably their best overall just player on that team. He was on a podcast recently, and they had asked him about like how who's looking good in camp, who's looking the best at camp so far. And maybe he just was talking just to talk. I don't know. I don't see why he would though. He actually said Bo Nix. He threw out Bo Nix and said Bo Nix was looking like the best guy right now, and I think he's listed as QB1. I don't know what that means. It's funny you mentioned that. I just saw that probably a day or two ago of him being on the podcast.
Smitty, real quick, Shaun can attest to this because I was just being in NFL camps as a player on Tuesdays alone. We had media days and how to speak to the media and how not to say and duh and They tell these guys certain things.
He wasn't asked about Bo Nix though. Number one,
no, I know, but
he just was asked who's looking like. He didn't have to bring him up, is what I'm saying. He could have said anybody in the world, and he was on a podcast with Big Shady and Deshaun Jackson. It's not like he was in the interview, like he was fucking loose and just shooting the shit. Like he was on. It's like when people come on our show, like he wasn't on some proper PR training type of thing. I'm just saying, I don't know. I'm not there. None of us are there.
That is the PR training. The PR training is if you get asked about quarterback, Bo Nix is the starter. That is what my point is. That's what they've been told. So that you don't know what's happening out there. These players get told those things. Hey, dog, Bo Nix is our starter if anyone asks on any show you do. And Shaun, I'm hearing, Shaun, that Zach's been balling, so I don't know.
And I would expect the older guys to look better in shorts, but I'd also expect the young guys to look good in shorts too. And listen, Bo Nix is damn near older than Zach Wilson. He might actually be.
He might.
Seriously. Like, I think he might actually be older than Zach Wilson. So, I mean, here's an older guy. My whole thing with Bo Nix was I've just seen some bad habits that always seem to manifest themselves in the biggest moments with him when it comes to playing quarterback. I did think he improved at Oregon from the kid we saw at Auburn. But if you go look at that Pac-12 championship game, all those bad habits all of a sudden showed up again. Inaccurate, happy feet in the pocket, bad decision maker. Like, so hopefully I'm wrong because I want all these kids to succeed. But my point was when you draft a quarterback in the top half of the first round, he should be able to come in and right off the bat look light years better than guys that aren't necessarily bad quarterbacks, but aren't considered top quarterbacks in the NFL.
And that narrative's changed, Shaun, to your point, in the last, 8 years, I would say, because back in the day, we used to draft rookies to be rookies and learn through osmosis and sit behind Brett Favre as Aaron Rodgers did, or Alex Smith as Patrick Mahomes did, or Drew Bledsoe as Tom Brady did. Nowadays, cats come in, you're supposed to start, and you're getting thrown to the wolves, Justin Fields. You're getting thrown to the woods, Caleb Williams. You're getting thrown to the woods, all these Trevor Lawrence,
Sam
like
Darnold,
Mac Jones. I mean, we can go on and on. We can go on and on. All these guys get thrown to the wolves now, and now the expectation is AR5, Trey Lance. You motherfuckers got to start and ball on a shitty organization. So we've changed the narrative from being a rookie to now being the guy as a rookie. And I think we've set the common man up for failure.
And you know what's crazy about that? Before they put the rookie salary pool together that made it so the draft, you couldn't just get these big deals to the kids.
Right.
This is when the quarterbacks were getting more money than established players. And they had more patience with them because they were already locked in financially. So they're like, we're going to take our time with this investment. Now you got these guys on these cheap labor deals, and they're like, nah, hey, babe, we got to get this work for this. Why we ain't got to pay them. We got to see what we got. And it's crazy how those things like switched up.
Yeah, that's a hell of a point. I can't remember. I'm having a brain fart of like the last quarterback.
I think it was Matthew Stafford, wasn't it? Or either one of the Oklahoma quarterbacks or Sam.
It was Oklahoma. Yeah, it's one of them. I can't remember the name, but he was the last one. Got that big deal. That's like, all right, we got to switch this thing around. I remember that. So, Switching gears here before you let you go, Shaun. Appreciate you for jumping on here. Going back to the college landscape, I believe, Bailey, we got a list of some of the top college football QBs with the highest QBR rating. And listen, I understand that the ratings doesn't necessarily matter per se, but just asking you guys your expertise, how do you see the QBs on this list playing this season? Will be my first question here.
See, I got. Let me jump in before Shaun even says something.
Yes,
the point. This is the point back to the 41 transfers and the non-development. This is the point back to that right there. Those numbers. Show me those numbers again.
Yep.
Dylan Gabriel didn't play at Oregon last year. He's going to be in a whole new system. Carson Beck, he played there. So that's his number.
Cal McCord did not play at Syracuse. He was at Ohio State.
DJ did not play for Mike Norvell's system last year. He played for Jonathan Smith at Oregon State, who left to Michigan State. These are so skewed and such a dumb fucking statistic to me because quarterbacks change, as John just eloquently stated. Bo Nix's transition from the SEC to the Pac-12 changed his life. And there's a reason why the motherfucker left the SEC, just throwing it out there, but we're not going to break that down. But let's just talk about these other dudes. Like, there's a reason why Michael Penix Jr., who Shaun's coach had been around and recruited, balled in Florida, South Florida, goes to Indiana, has a decent couple of times. Then he goes to Washington with the same OC he had at South Florida and then does good again. Like, this is matter. The context matters. We aren't developing anymore, and then we throw out these numbers as if Dylan Gabriel's been a 3-year starter at Oregon. Dylan Gabriel ain't even played there yet.
Hey, can I ask y'all a question?
Yes.
Was I watching the wrong Ohio State games last year?
Ooh, you were watching the right ones, my brother, because I was thinking the same thing, bro.
How the hell does Kyle McCord have an 83.7 QBR? He was terrible last year.
Do you guys know, like, not to put you on the spot, because I don't remember, like, how do they calculate this QBR? Like, what are all, because that's the part I don't understand. I'm with you. That's the first name that came to my mind, Shaun. I'm like, hold on. I watched the season, and it was a struggle at the quarterback position. They were rotating quarterbacks.
DJ got benched at Oregon State.
Right. It's the prime example of numbers and stats do not tell the full story, full picture. But I guess my bigger question, forget the numbers, just looking at the landscape of some of the current, returning quarterbacks coming next year, guys who are on this list, even guys who are not on this list. How do you guys see it? Like, who do you guys envision being some of the top QBs going into college next year?
There are 5 guys on this list who actually can really play.
Yeah.
Dylan Gabriel's one. The kid in Arizona, Fafita. He's a smaller guy, but he can
start
spin the
by
football.
high school SoCal kid. Yeah, good kid.
Yeah. Everybody knows Carson Beck's a baller. Quinn Ewers is talented. I still got to see him do it consistently on the big stage, but he's talented. And then the kid at Missouri, Brady Cook, is pretty good too. The rest of them guys should be backups, and that includes Jalen Milroe.
Ooh.
What's your take on DJ? I grew up with his family. Of course, I've coached with his uncle for years. Grew up in Compton, and me and his uncle has coached and been a rival of each other for 20 years at JUCO. What's your takeaway from him? Like, I look at him as an inconsistent guy.
He's a tight end. Logan Thomas did it. Logan Thomas went from quarterback at Virginia Tech to, what is he going on, year 10, 11 in the NFL at tight end?
Yeah.
If I was DJ, I'd go to Coach Norvell and say, I want to play tight end. I mean, he's not going to play.
It's just crazy because DJ, man, I remember when Trevor was either hurt or something happened when DJ was still at Clemson, like his freshman year, and DJ had to fill in. It was a big time game. Was it against Notre Dame?
It was against Notre Dame.
And they lost, but he balled out. I was like, they thought they next Trevor Lawrence. And it just never was like that. He just was always like that.
Hey, we got to, Shaun, I would love to on Monday, we got to break these guys down because I want to ask you, like, if we went down the list on all these guys, like, match the coach and the QB currently. Match the coach and the QB. I want to match.
Salter was somewhere else last year because somebody took Liberty's quarterback.
Yeah,
I don't know exactly where he went, but somebody came and NIL'd him.
Yeah, I would love to break down. I want to break down Jalen Milroe with the current coach now and at Alabama because Jalen Milroe is not Michael Penix, where he has a rapid fire release, that he can get in and out of a mesh and RPO and throw it right off the backer's ear, and being a left-handed guy, Milroe's not that guy. Milroe's a big, athletic freak who needs to be running power read, zone read, and sprint out. And I want to see what that combination
with the
does.
Yeah.
It's a totally different combination. Cats in the chat talking about that's going to be unstoppable. I think it's going to be disastrous.
It's going to be fast. It's going to be fascinating to watch. Don't forget, though, DeBoer did bring his highly recruited young kid from Washington with him, the kid that was backing up Penix. I think he was a 5-star maybe coming out of high school. So the one thing we know about DeBoer, he's won everywhere he's been as a head coach.
And Shaun, there's a reason he brought that kid. That's what my point is.
Absolutely.
So, hey, Shaun, much love. We'll see you on Monday. Enjoy the weekend. Who you got tomorrow, Tank?
Oh, yeah.
Man, I'm so sick of this, man. I'm not even going to watch the fight. Listen. Hey,
yes, you are. Stop.
Hey, listen. Javante Tank Davis, I think you are maybe one of the most talented fighters of our generation. But I am not supporting you fighting these mid-level guys anymore. Listen, they were talking about Frank Martin fighting Keyshawn Davis, who's a
young up-and-comer. Don't say, all right.
Right, he's an up-and-comer. But that's the level, to me, experience-wise, Frank Martin is on. Yeah. He should be battling it out with Keyshawn Davis and Abdullah Mason and those guys. Jumping up the Tank on this stage against that talent, this is going to be a whitewash.
Yeah, the thing about it is, I actually do think Frank will be I think Frank's a good fighter now. I think he has the talent to be a really good fighter down the road, but he's just he's too early. He's like 2 years too early. So I'm with Tank as well. I think he'll get a stoppage in round 7 or round 8. We shall see. I'm watching though. I don't know about all that. I'm gonna still watch it now.
Hey, just text me. Let me know how it goes, man. The only way to get these guys to do what we want and fight who we want to see is to stop supporting them when they don't. Stop letting them sell us this BS, man. How in the hell did Frank Martin even come on the radar for a Tank Davis fight?
I don't know. But remember, the co-main David Benavidez, I know you want to see him fight, so you got to watch the fight.
I love Benavidez, man. Again, he's kind of a hostage to Canelo. Canelo won't fight him. There's really no other big money fight out there for him.
Yeah, so we shall see it all. But Shaun, hey man, appreciate you, my brother. I didn't know you was a Kappa, man. Okay, I see what you're doing. Yeah,
yes, okay. All right, fellas.
We gonna see you,
brother.
JB, you don't know nothing about the frats. You know, that's black people shit right there. So you know that's something you don't even know about. But JB, man, I gotta say
one thing. I know he's throwing up something that's. Hey, we'll be back.
And he got the color on too.
We'll be back at 5 with Jeff Nadu. Top 10. All right. I'm going to get into my top 10. Matt asked yesterday about my top 10, and he spit his out real quick. I'm going to pull mine up on the ticker below so the world can see. You can all fucking go, the fucking chat. 400 people are going to talk shit. I don't fucking care. So here we go. I'm going to go Tom Brady. Here we go. Before I pull it up, I know you guys saw everything. I'm going to use this criteria. You've had to at least, to be in my top 5, have won a Super Bowl, been to Super Bowl, and just one of the elite of elite. All right. That is how my criteria kind of is. So here we go. Tom Brady, who's the GOAT as far as wins. I do not believe he's the best as far as skill set, but I do believe he's the best quarterback. All right. We're not going to get into that fucking thing as far as winning and losing. So that's number 1 for me. I got Troy Aikman because I believe Troy Aikman can travel to any era and be as accurate as any quarterback of all time. He is the fucking people do not You're 40 years old, Matt. How do you not believe in fucking Troy Aikman? You know how good he was? Do you realize how good he was?
The second best quarterback of all time?
Yeah, dog. Do you know how good Troy
fucking Aikman?
Do you know how good he was? Let's get to it. Elway, I got at 3. I got Montana at 4. Manning at 5. Rodgers at 6. Favre at 7. Both of those are very close skill set wise. Both have a Super Bowl, been to 2. Marino at 8. At 8. Bradshaw at 9 because he won so much. He's not as talented as anyone else. And Steve Young at 10 because of he was the first lefty to really dominate his position. That's my top 10. I'll just let it keep ticking, dog. I'm going to mute my channel. Go ahead.
I don't have a problem with the rest of the top 10, but Troy Aikman even being on the list makes
you're shitting me, right? You're telling me Troy Aikman's not a top 10 quarterback.
No, here's mine. Brady, Manning, Elway, Montana Marino, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Steve Young, Mahomes, and Jim Kelly.
See, this is the problem I have with
Troy fucking Aikman.
Oh, dog. Drew Brees couldn't hold Troy Aikman's fucking left nutsack from behind his asshole.
Dude. Drew Brees runs circles around Troy Aikman.
Huh?
Drew Brees runs circles around Troy Aikman, bro.
Oh my
bro,
God.
dog. Danny White could have won those Super Bowls with those.
This is how I break. And people in the chat, Jim Kelly over Aikman. Really? Aikman beat Jim Kelly twice for Super Bowls, you dumb fuck.
No. Troy Aikman's team beat Jim Kelly. You put Jim Kelly on the Cowboys, they win 6
team
titles.
Beat fucking 7 teams.
Troy Aikman is maybe the most overrated quarterback ever.
See, I almost think that I can say that about Tom Brady.
Oh my fucking God. Oh my God.
Oh,
How can you say Tom Brady's overrated?
Tom Brady played in the worst conference for 20 years of all time in the NFL history.
Look, that's true. He played in the worst division ever. I know. I played in it. But he's not overrated.
Let me break this down, though. If you compare Troy Aikman and Tom Brady, and we go out here on the park and go fucking throw the football around the park, it ain't even fucking close.
Look, no one's saying that Troy Aikman couldn't throw the ball. He was extremely accurate, and he did a great job running the system that he was asked to run.
What did he do bad?
Nothing. He didn't do anything bad. He did everything right. They won Super Bowls. He was very competitive. He's a first
At the time he was in the NFL, he probably had top 2 or 3 NFL arm strength. I mean, he could throw the ball 80 yards.
No one's debating all of this, but he is not a top 10 quarterback of all time
to this day. I don't care about stats and all this Drew Brees bullshit. He didn't throw the football as much. He fucking had Harper and Irvin and Novacek. They ran 21 personnel play pass.
I'm just saying he's not a top 10 quarterback, in my opinion.
Well,
I think if you take any of these guys, any of the guys on your list or my list, and put them up behind the Great Wall of Dallas with the NFL's leading rusher of all time, with the fucking playmaker and Jay Novacek and Alvin Harper and all these other motherfuckers, plus Charles Haley and Jeff Coat and Norton and Deion Sanders and all these other motherfuckers. I mean, goddamn, I think that any of these quarterbacks win Super Bowls. Any of them.
Holds water to me. Yes, sir, indeed. New co-host from the Sit Down True Crime Pod. Jeff Nadu is the new co-host because Smitty's always fucking late. Jeff, what up, Jeff?
What up? What's happening?
Hey, Jeff, over under. Who are you betting on to win the finals MVP if it ends tonight? Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, or Drew Holiday? Where's your money at? Where I'm gonna bet something tonight. Who am I betting on?
Couldn't tell you. I haven't watched it at all.
JB always asks our guests who don't watch basketball, who tells they don't watch basketball.
I just bet the game and look.
You asked Steve the other day. Steve said,
but
I minute of it at all.
But I know. I already know Jeff don't watch it. I need to know Jeff. I need to know the lines though. There's got to be an over under on Jaylen Brown, on Jason Tatum, or Drew Holiday. I think Drew Holiday would probably be the most money. And I'm gonna be honest, right now, Smitty, someone that does watch it, Holiday could be the MVP.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown's the big favorite, minus 350.
Yeah.
I might bet on him.
Drew Holiday's 66-1.
Yeah, he's not gonna win. I might put money on Tatum because Tatum go out there and drop 40 tonight and close. You know, they want to give it to Tatum. They want to. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, what has happened to this league? I mean, you had a sweep in one of the finals. You had one win in the other, and now you have a sweep in the finals.
Well, we don't know. It might not be a sweep. Dallas might win 3 in a row.
Let's say they win one. I mean, what the fuck?
It might win 3 in a row.
What's happened to the grades?
Take it to a game 7, Jeff. Hey,
And Jeff,
it's happened before.
Ain't happening.
With the game
Jeff,
7, yeah, it happened before.
Jeff, I'm be honest, Jeff. You haven't missed shit. The games have been fucking atrocious. Like, they're not even watchable games. It's not even like they've been nail biters.
Listen, I'll tell you this. I've had a great finals betting it, though. I mean, I'm like 60% the whole playoffs. I just bet the game, see what happens. Hey, by the way, what happened to the studio? You done already?
Yeah, we know. We missed the bill, and we just had bro. It's just the way we doing it. Mondays and Fridays, we're gonna do it this way.
That's
Tuesday through Thursday. It's
I'm
gonna
be
be in the
honest,
studio.
That's a lot of
people don't
travel.
realize, like, so I leave about 3:45 in the morning.
Yeah.
And it's really no traffic at all. So I'm there 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
Which is unbelievable because Smitty will tell you it's a couple hours in traffic.
Yeah.
But with no traffic and it still takes you 45 minutes. That's
And Jeff, I'm be honest. So we go Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in studio 3 days in a row. And so let's just be honest. It's about 59 each way. So I put about 360 miles on the car 3 days a week. So then I thought about doing this way because Monday, Friday, at least I have a 4-day weekend both ways.
Yep.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday.
Yeah, that's cool.
So we got the studio, though. We're getting there, Jeff. You know how it is. Brand new studio. We wanted to just continue the show in person. So once the season starts, though, we're going to have some new cameras, some ISO cameras, different, setup. Because right now, we got all the dick riders. Oh, the studio, the sound is shitty. The camera. Shut the fuck up. Then give me 10 grand then. So, everybody wants everything, Jeff. They don't do anything, but they want everything. And that's just kind of how Trevor.
Hey, by the way, remember, this show is free.
Yeah. And by the way, I don't see anyone paying for my fucking gas at an all-time high gas price in California. And then I don't see paying the lease on this fucking studio every day. I don't see them setting up that bitch. I don't know if people realize the wrap that sits behind Smitty and I on the wall is about $2,000. I don't know the other wraps that you see Jeff's beautiful mug on the wall of fame is about $700. And then I don't know if you know that I had to take a 100-inch fucking touchable smart TV that weighs 500 pounds up 6 flights of stairs. But nobody wants to talk about any of that. So anyway, they just want the result, Jeff. You know how it is. They don't want to. They just want the sausage, Jeff. They don't care how it's made.
No, listen. I've been dealing with that forever. You do a video, it takes you 2 hours. You got this wrong. You got that wrong. You fucking stuck. You can't hear you. Shut up.
That's social media. That's why I tell y'all, fuck them. Don't care. Just post what you want to post. Set it up the way you want to set up and move on. I be trying to tell JB stop worrying about it. He don't listen to me.
I'll be in Vegas next weekend.
Ooh. Are you gonna make a pit stop in LA?
Maybe. I haven't been invited.
What do you mean? Get
I'm
the fuck out of here.
I'm kidding.
I got a fucking jacuzzi waiting on you.
Listen, I'm playing World Series of Poker, so I got to see how I go. If I get knocked out right away, I'm coming over. Yeah.
Hey, I'm on a 2.5 hour drive fucking from there.
But see, I found out there's a new airline. I think a friend of mine was telling me about it. It's like you could take they leave like every half hour or something. It's like super cheap. You could be there quick. But
you talking about Frontier?
Huh?
No, he's talking about Jet Suite X, ain't you?
Yeah, it's like some sort of
Probably Jet. It's not even that new. Me and Whitlock went, and some of the Fox people would take Jet Suite X out of what you call it,
Burbank.
Yep, go straight there. It's kind of like a PJ experience, but on a smaller scale.
That's
you ain't
what
got to
they
check
were
your bags
telling me.
in. You can bring weed, drugs, whatever. Get on there. They give you a glass champagnes, real small. You get the Vegas in 30 minutes. Yeah.
I might do that actually. Just like
you know what you should do? Are you flying out from Philly? You flying from Philly to Vegas?
BWI, Baltimore.
Okay, so you're flying about. So what I'm saying is you should do it separate. Fly to Vegas one way and then go home from LA.
That might work. I'm leaving Wednesday, so maybe I'll do like an extra.
Or not even LA. You can fly home from Ontario, which is closer to my house, and you don't got to deal with all the traffic. So there's options.
If you pull up, Jeff, and you really go to JB house, let me know because I'll make the sacrifice then. And
you'll make the sacrifice then, but you won't come tomorrow for the fucking fight though.
Meet you in person, Jeff. Go to the casino. Go to the lounge right there. You know what I'm saying? So
I just want to meet JB, but I'm not going into no jacuzzi.
Well, that's part of the requirement. You go to JB house, you gotta go to jacuzzi.
Nah,
it's like your initiation to meeting JB and come to his house. Like the only way out is in the box. Like you got to go in.
Hey, Jeff.
If I come, I'm gonna just come. I'm not gonna tell JB I'm coming. I'm just show up at his house.
Hey, Jeff.
Well, you gotta be careful. He got two fucking ready to bite you.
Hey, Jeff, Smitty couldn't have gate up the jacuzzi any more than he just did.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Smitty gave the whole thing up. Like, it was supposed to be like, hey, man, we're going to get in there with some fucking Hennessy and a fucking cigar and sit in this motherfucker talk about bitches. He was talking about, like, you got to go the experience. You got to jump in the jacuzzi. I'm like, fuck LGBTQ. Let's move on.
JB, he be on the Diddy shit. That's why I had to say that.
$1,000 or more and I'll get in.
No, I don't need to do that. You can watch me and some broads in there then.
Yeah, I'm just on the sideline.
Well, last thing, Jeff, baby girl is supposed to be coming out next week, and she was going to be in the jacuzzi, but I guess you don't want to get
for her. Good for her. I love her, but I'm good. I'll wait for her to come out.
Hey, Jeff, you can come on. I got a spare room. You can change the sheets every day. I don't give a fuck.
What's up, Chris? All right, y'all. Moving on to topics.
Hey, hold on, City. So, time out. It's Free Game Friday, and you sent me a text last night, and I didn't get a chance to get around to it, but what's going on in the Discord? Is Jeff privy to what's going on?
So I'm in this.
Hey, you told me about it. There are times where
it's some other shit, Jeff. It's new shit. Let's get the brass tacks, man.
Probably me or
listen up. So I usually keep shit. Discord business stays in a Discord, but today I got to come to y'all and tell you. So I jumped in Discord yesterday, the regular general chat, right, just to kind of catch up, and the chat was popping. People was messaging. Everybody was going crazy. And I started seeing like sex topics get brought up, all types of shit. I said, damn, they're getting crazy in here. And out of nowhere, someone suggested, one of the queens, do you guys want us to start a sex chat? And then everybody was like, hell yeah, do that shit. So out of nowhere, I get added to a sex court, which I believe Jeff is in there. I think, I'm not for sure. I know JB's in there. So I go in there. All types of shit going on there. So I'm in there bullshitting, just, talking shit just to kind of keep the juice going.
Hold on,
they in there right now, clowning, like right now.
How am I in there?
Cause I think Jada started it, and she just added you in there.
Oh,
they in there talking about what they would do to you, Jeff, for giving opportunity, what they would do to JB, favorite positions, what they like, polygamy. People talking about their personal, but it's all love.
I'm telling you, this is where the real
in the back of that throat. Gawk.
What?
That's why it's called the gawk. Because
Jesus.
Wait, what's going on now?
That sounds like who's that woman we showed on the show with that strong?
I actually know who that is, but I'm not going to say who it is. I don't want to.
So all I'm gonna say is, man, if you ain't a part of the Discord, y'all, if you're not a member, if you need any motivation to become a member, there you go. It's going down. Become a member of this, first of all, then hop in the Discord, and then you could talk to us and learn all the hot secrets that go on.
This is where the real depravity starts on Discord. This is where Discord goes into some weird fucking role and levels, man. Because then people are going to start saying they like weird shit, and then they're going to start showing it. Yeah, I'm out. I'm good on that. JB, I'm out, right?
I can't go in there and see fucking Joe Accord's dick.
Yeah.
Oh no, hold on. We already told them straight up, and the girls agree. I said anybody do any shit like that, you out immediately. Like you get and you getting beat up immediately.
That don't mean they're not doing it.
I ain't seen none of that shit in there. I know if I see that shit,
Joe Accord might be in that motherfucker chasing a tornado butt naked. And you motherfucker talking about, look at the weather, motherfucker butt naked in that motherfucker.
Yeah, I don't see it. The only Discords I'm in are the Slap Nation Weather Center.
Oh, they probably didn't add you then. I guess you didn't. Well,
and I'm in the girl one.
You're not adding. You said you didn't want to be in it, so they probably didn't add you. So
yeah, I'm in with the girls, like baby girl.
We don't talk in there no more. So I mean, so you say you didn't want to be in it, Jeff. It's cool. I'll teach you. All I'm gonna say is this: the queens was sending all types of like shit in there last night. I'm gonna leave it at that. All right, moving on amicably. Let me see. Chris is in there lying. Chris jumped in late last night. She was at work all day, so she don't know all the stuff. She's not privy to the previous conversation. So,
well, let me ask you, Smitty. So, if you had a bet, who's the first fucking sick fuck that drops his dick in there? in this chat.
Who's in the chat? Is it everybody in the chat, Smitty, or what's going on here?
No, it's not everybody in there. I'm not running this shit. I think the queens are running
somebody
this shit.
please block Mark. I don't be asked to block anybody. Don't mention my sister, you fucking piece of shit, low life motherfucker. Fucking scumbags.
What happened?
No.
Somebody mentioned my sister, man. Dickhead.
Are you
Mark?
I can't.
Mark, I swear to God, I'd fucking stab you in the fucking neck if I ever saw you. Come knock on my door, Mark. I'll shoot you in the fucking head, scumbag. Seriously.
Hey, have you seen the latest? I gotta talk Jeff. I like to talk to Jeff about politics, war, and all this shit. We got these Russian ships out of Florida.
Shit.
We got all this shit going on. But Putin came out and has asked for a ceasefire in Ukraine and has taken the high road and saying we need to end this whole mess. I believe something funny is happening here, and this is just me talking. I think he's doing that to test us and see what we do. Because if we don't say, oh, yeah, let's end it, then he's going to say, all right, I gave you the opportunity, you fucks. Now we're sitting outside of Florida, and all fucking haywire is going to break loose here.
Yeah, why is he doing that, though? Why is he sending warship?
I'm saying something's up.
He provokes people, fucks around with them, then they respond, and then he's, I told you I'm trying to get a truce. Yeah, listen, I mean, he offers truce if Ukraine exits Russia-claimed areas. I mean,
Cisco said,
fair, I guess.
Cisco said, now we're going to send 30 trillion to Russia. Like, we're so fucked. It's just such a fucked up deal. It's unbelievable. I don't know.
You realize 6 months from now, the election will already have happened.
I know. It's crazy. I don't, or it won't happen. That's the crazy part about this. I don't know. Hey, I got to ask you right out the gate, and Smitty's kind of narrating it now, but I have a question for you. It's Free Game Friday. At the end of the day, after Tom Brady got inducted at the Hall of Fame for the Patriots 2 days ago, it was a great little, it was almost like a roast vibe. And then we know the Netflix roast we talked about on this show. At the end of the day, it seems like Tom Brady's playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers, because if you haven't seen, Giselle is now getting divorced and blames the roast. Maybe Tom Brady got back at her without anyone realizing it.
Well, Tom Brady is a legend. I mean, you realize he had Jay-Z. Like, dude, like, I mean, that's unreal. Jay-Z's a fucking billionaire. Like, he doesn't perform for nobody. He just walks out, and here comes Tom Brady. I mean, listen, any weak-ass woman that is going to break up with a dude over a fucking roast, is she fucking serious? Watch, they'll get back together. Watch.
Hey, it's crazy, though. That's kind of like, no offense, I love all the women in the chat.
Well, I don't know if she broke up with him or he broke up with her, though.
Everyone
probably said, this is fucking stupid. Fuck this lady, man.
Well, she wanted him to retire, and he wanted to play another
No, Jeff's talking about her. He's saying it's stupid for her and her new man or whatever to call it quits because of the roast. He's not talking about.
I mean, but is that really true? I mean, maybe the dude was just like, this is bullshit. I'm done with it.
Hey, Jeff, where are you at with this Tom Brady? Like, so here's the thing. I just want to tie things together because I know you're not a conspiracy guy, and I want to throw this out there. Tom Brady has a very, to me, disturbing video of him kissing his son on the lips a couple different times. I wouldn't do it.
I mean,
I don't like it. But
I'm not sure that it's. Well, hold on.
Why are you still bringing this up, JB?
Yeah,
I got a point. I got a point.
It was like 10 years ago. Number two, here's the thing. It is his son, dude. Like, I never kissed my dad on the lips. You're right, but like,
I don't care. I wouldn't kiss my son on the lips.
He does it with his own father.
I wouldn't kiss my daughter on the lips. After a certain age, Jeff, you know this, and I have a kid. You don't, but you've had a father and a mother, and you understand. At a certain age, when you're a baby, I get it. When you get a little bit older, though, that kid was like 10, bro. That's like a 12-year-old sucking his mama's titty.
But what does that have to do with the conspiracies you're about to tell?
Where you going?
Here it is. Here it is.
Shout out to Brady, my soon-to-be Fox co-worker. Continue.
Here it is. The rumors out there that Jay-Z is going to be the next guy to fall with P. Diddy. So
I'm done.
Is there a correlation why he leaves out Tom Brady's fucking is ironic. You just said it's very hard to get Jay-Z to do anything. Why is he so quick to jump on?
He's the GOAT. What you talking about, JB? You're extremely reaching. What the hell?
It's like when people ask me, how do you know Coach JB? Like, they just know each other and they're friends. Like, buddy, Jay-Z needs some respect from you.
This dude's crazy.
Come
Bernie
on.
Bernie Kosar sues over ceremonial.
Oh yeah,
bet.
I got
got him fired by the Browns, man.
Break this down, Smitty, for Jeff if he doesn't know, because Jeff's going to be able to understand it better than most.
You're gonna be able to break this down better than everybody. So, all right, I'm gonna read those. So, former Cleveland Browns quarterback Bernie Kosar has sued a digital media company over his firing as a pregame radio host for placing a bet on a sports book app when Ohio legalized gambling last year. So, I was reading over like an article to try to get some more information on this, and like basically, let me find it right here. In a nutshell, Kosar claims that the company told him he had to place a $19,000 bet on the Browns to beat the Steelers. The wager was required by his contract, but his contract also guaranteed that Mr. Kosar would not be liable nor responsible for the amount of the wager, nor will he be entitled to any winnings that may occur as a result of the wager. So basically, it was like some TV shit. Like, just place this bet. We're doing it for content. You won't be liable. It's part of your contract. Boom. So after Kosar placed the bet, the Browns, who I guess he was also like working with them on a more full-time basis, the Browns fired Kosar for violating the league's gambling policy. So it's kind of caught between like a rock and a hard place. So now Kosar is like, hold on, bro. Like, y'all told me I wouldn't be liable. You know, the digital company told me I wouldn't be liable. But now you're basically holding me liable because the Browns, my main job, is firing me for gambling, when in reality, it wasn't even like I'm not supposed to be liable. So make it make sense, I guess, is what I'm asking you, because this shit is crazy.
Before Jeff answers, though, I want to be clear. I want to ask Jeff, though. He's suing the betting company, not the NFL. To me,
yes,
it's ass backwards, and it seems like this is why we have all these betting issues going on with players, with these type of situations. Why would I go after the NFL? You told me. So, like, I'm trying to figure out, Jeff, why this is. I don't know if you understand it.
Well, he's suing the company that he works for, as essentially saying that I was fired over your bullshit. And this will go to court, and he will present the contract and say this is what it says. But he should also know that, and I don't know what I guess he's like a color for the games, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly, but I do believe, and I've heard them say, like, they can't pick. That's why, like, when they do predictions, like the guys that call the games never give their predictions.
Yeah, like Herb Street on game day can't talk about the game he's covering.
He always, he'll just say that. So I think that's something that's well known, and Kosar's agent, whoever that is, he should probably fire, because that agent is the issue here.
But I think they told him, though. They told him he had to, though.
Right, but his agent is the person that's, discussing the contract. The agent's the guy that sets all this stuff up. The agent should know that, hey, my client can't do this. So in the form of this contract, it says I got to do this. We can't do this.
Right,
so,
right.
Like, this should get. I would figure, it should get figured out in court, because it seems like Kosar just got caught up. But again, you can't let people that do these games bet on them. It would be just a complete mess.
Yeah, that's a good point. And it's like, why even take that risk if you know that it's not legal, and your main job is working with the Browns? You don't want to get fired. Like, worst case scenario, at least communicate with them. Like, hey, so this is something that's in my contract. I'm not going to be liable for it because of X, Y, and Z. Would this be an issue? Like, I wouldn't have even taken that risk at all of even knowing that's a possibility. So I agree with you on that, Jeff. Blame the agent. Blame, Bernie to an extent. I mean, like, we can disagree. We can disagree with the rules, but the rules are the rules, though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
they breached his contract. They should also know what they can and can't do with him being the color guy. I think I also read that he got into some sort of argument with the guy that owns the company.
Yeah.
Listen, I think that should get figured out in court, but they'll settle, I would think.
Yeah, I agree. Let's talk. I want to talk some betting real quick. Tonight, you've been killing the NBA Finals. Are you rolling with the sweep tonight? Are you rolling with the sweep, or do you think it's a gentleman's sweep and Luka will figure out a way to get a win? We broke this down yesterday. Again, we're back on this Luka thing, Smitty. We had a whole debate yesterday about overrated or not. He plays zero defense, and he's a liability on defense, which the Celtics are attacking Luka on defense. That is their scheme, by the way, if you watch the game. And he deflects it again last night. He deflects it again and says, I think our offense is actually struggling more than our defense. And I just think it was a slap in everybody's face that sees Luka out there absolutely playing zero defense at all, being exposed. Do you think they get the win tonight at home, or is it the sweep?
I just don't. I saw myself after the game. I watched the highlights in game 3 and said, I mean, they finally shot over 35% the Mavs from 3.
And Kyrie scored 35.
Right. Still didn't get to 100 and still lost by a few possessions. What more can they do? I mean, it's clear they're not going to get many people to step up other than Irving or Luka. You mentioned the defensive issues. They can't score. I mean, they haven't got to 100 yet in this series. It's a complete mess. I mean, anybody that's watched this, what a disaster. I got to tell you, I think they probably sweep. I'd probably lean on laying it with I would think the Celtics are, a small favorite, probably 2, I would think. I would probably lay.
Let me ask you this, Jeff. Let me ask you a Lions number, if you can pull it up, if you can find it. But would it be smart if you're recommending this? Because I'm thinking about this bet. The first time in 26 years that we will see an NBA sweep and an NHL Stanley Cup sweep in the same year. Is that a good bet if I want to bet, let's say, $1,000 that both teams sweep?
Well, I mean,
Bailey, if you can find it too, Bailey, on the book, if that's a bet at all.
Are you posing this hypothetical question that in the next game they'd have to sweep?
Because the NHL game I think is tomorrow. And
so you're saying, okay, so the Celtics tonight are a small underdog +1, so it's essentially a flip. What did you say you thought the odds would be?
I don't know if I said if I bet 1,000 on it, would it be a bet worthy of taking that?
I mean, they're both coin flip games. I mean, I wouldn't.
Florida's dominating. I mean, Edmonton came back last night, but it was 4-1 after the second period. I watched that game, and then Edmonton made a run in the third period, but they lost 4-3. Florida's dominating the series. They're up 3-0. I don't know if Edmonton can try to stave off.
If I were giving, if you asked me what I would give you on that bet, like if I'm a bookmaker and you're asking me what the odds would be, I'd probably give you like, I don't know, around 3-1. Like, so $1,000, you win like 3,000 on both. Both would have to win. So Florida would have to win. They're even money. Boston would have to win. They're even money.
All right, let me transition to one of your wheelhouses, soccer. Soccer is in full swing right now. Your wheelhouse. You love this still. I know some people want to get some bets in. Hip us to what's going on right now and where we are in this international soccer deal and where you're betting.
Well, the Euro Cup is essentially the Euro Championship. There's no Brazil, obviously, South America, obviously, but it's the championship in Europe. It starts today. There's one game. It's a fairly open Euro this year. Italy won in 2020 or whenever it was because of the virus. Look, I have France to win this tournament. France is surely the best team. I have them as the best roster in the world, or arguably the world, outside of one or two teams. Today's game, though, Germany, Scotland. Germany is arguably a top 3 team. I have them as the 3rd best team in the world. As far as the issue that Germany has is defensively. They're not great defensively. They're good. They're not great. But up front, they're very good. I mean, their midfield is very good. Their strikers are very good. They play Scotland, who have major injuries defensively. I think they could give up 3 goals at least. I think Scotland's going to have a tough go of it here. I bet the over in this game, over 2.5 goals. Germany, I think at worst, score 2. I think Scotland could get a goal just because Germany's not elite defensively, and Scotland does have some decent players up front. But this is going to be a great tournament. You got, I think, a pretty open tournament. I think Portugal could win. I think England can win. Spain can win. Germany can win. Belgium can win. Italy, they won last time out. But there are certain issues with Italy. They don't have great strikers up front. They don't have goal scorers necessarily right up front. Their lead goal scorer has only scored, I think, 9 goals over the last year or two, or I think the last several years. So I think 5 or 6 teams can win it.
Let me transition to a big tournament here called the U.S. Open. In golf. I'm sure Scheffler's up there in the mix. Tiger was 4 over, I believe. Rory McIlroy, after saying he's not going to file and for divorce, after I know a little bit of insight on that whole deal, which is a debacle in itself. Who do you got? And if you were to pick top 10 finishes on a sports book, like who's 4 players you're putting in a top 10 finish that we kind of talked about on golf a month ago? Who do you like to finish in the top 10 of this U.S. Open right now?
Well, I remember when I co-hosted with you. That was the day that Scotty Scheffler got pinched for that. Remember that?
Yeah, for driving through a crime scene or something. It was weird. They lied because the video came out and we saw that he didn't really even do anything. So it was kind of crazy. But yeah.
Yes. So I'm looking at the odds. I mean, we're only one day in. I generally wait if I bet golf until after the second round. I like 2 in, 2 to go. I will say, I mean, Schauffele played well yesterday. Kind of open. I think he's kind of interesting at 6-1. It's pretty open. I mean, you have a couple of really good players up at the top. Bryson DeChambeau.
That's who I got winning. DeChambeau, I think he's going to come in and win this thing.
There's a Canadian guy, Taylor Pendrith. I mean, he had one of the best rounds yesterday, -4.
I think he's tied for second, right?
Yeah, he'll fall off. He's not ready for the big time.
He's already played 10 holes today, and he's at -3. He's only 2 strokes back, but 40-1. I mean, do you think he can keep that going? For a couple. I would probably go Schauffele, someone along those lines. But again, there are better golf handicappers than me.
I'll say this though: don't sleep on my man TD, man. Thomas Dietrich, Belgian, Belgian golfer. For those of you who don't know, this guy, I think he's in the mix. I think he's at -3 when I was watching yesterday.
He's 35-1 to win.
Hey, so I'm just saying, though, I wouldn't be scared to throw 100 on my guy TD, man. He's one of those cats that can be a sleeper right now.
What I would do is I'll take a few golfers up top, and then I'll go deeper. So like with the guy you just talked about, or maybe Pendrith can keep it going. Maybe a shot on like a Tyrell Hatton or something like that, 30-1.
Yeah.
But I will say real quick before we get off the betting stuff, I got a UFC pick for this weekend. Tagir Ulanbekov. He is going to beat Josh Van. Tagir Ulanbekov.
Say it again.
Tagir Ulanbekov.
And then one more time so I can make sure I hear it clearly.
Tagir Ulanbekov.
Gotcha.
What is he doing?
He's fighting tomorrow night against Josh Van.
Why are you so confident in that pick?
Why you said?
Yeah, because you usually don't bet on UFC, right?
No, I do. I just don't really talk much about it.
You don't voice it. Got you.
So why? Well, this is flyweight, small guys, but there's a pretty good rule when you bet UFC. If you bet Dagestani fighters, you will generally win. Tagir Ulanbekov is a big Khabib, Islam, Khamzat disciple. He's always around those guys. He kind of trains around those guys. Don't go wrong with the Dagestani.
Who you got? Who you got in the big fight tomorrow? Tank.
I didn't even know he was fighting.
Boxing.
So.
Yeah, I don't know what the odds are, but I would put. If you got the money, you got money to throw like 1,000 on Tank. He's 100% winning the fight.
He fights Frank Martin. What? The coach is fighting? No shit. How about that? I mean, here's what I would do if you really wanted to bet it. I don't know, maybe parlay him and David Benavidez.
Yeah, they're both winning for sure.
It's -325, so you get the odds down a bit. But I mean,
I wonder what happens if I call for a stoppage in round 7 and I get it right. I wonder what happens. I wonder how does that change?
You're saying in that round?
Yeah, specifically
10-1.
Ooh,
again, you have a 3-minute window there. You're very broad in a 12-round fight.
But I watched Tank though. I know Tank is a fighter who starts off slow the first 3 rounds. He's trying to read you. He's a guy who actually loses rounds, but he almost does it on purpose because he's trying to understand who you are. Rounds 4, 5 is when he starts to kind of get to you. So
what I would do in that case
is when he usually knocks you out.
10-1's nice, but just play that Gervonta wins, within, the 12 rounds, knockout, TKO, DQ, minus 175. You risk $1.75, you win 100. So, I mean, it's not as bad. You got to try to cut. Look, winning in a round is very difficult. Again, there are 12 rounds.
Right.
Plus, it could go to decision. So, yeah, look, those are real hard to do.
Hey, Jeff, I got to ask you something real quick. You made a comment on this show, and we all did. We thought that Dan Hurley was going to take that Laker job.
Yeah, I can't tell you, I can't believe he didn't go.
And then I saw our boy, Barstool, Jack.
Well, listen, he was waiting to take a shot at me because I embarrassed him after he made a ridiculous comment that he would take Shea Gilgeous-Alexander over prime Allen Iverson, which was a ridiculous comment. I mean, it's totally stupid.
And I saw you say, like, I deleted it, you fuck. There's a reason why. I was wrong. Who cares? I wouldn't have deleted it. Fuck that. At least you came out and had the nuts.
Well, listen, I'll tell you right now, and this is the truth. I've dealt with a lot of college fan bases over the years. One of the worst and biggest group of losers on Twitter is the UConn basketball fan base. Total fucking clowns. It's all like goofy, goofy-haired white kids, like the long, goofy hair. That's
Connecticut for you. That's
trust fund, jerk off, fucking fuckheads. That's the whole fan base.
Now, so is it a no-brainer, a foregone conclusion that JJ Redick's going to get this job? It seems like the Lakers have lost the true fan base.
If I'm JJ Redick, it's like
who do you take though, Smitty? If you don't take JJ Redick at this point, it's either JJ Redick saying "fuck you," I'm not second fiddle. Which you are second fiddle. You haven't coached any ever. So who are you taking those?
It'll be some no-name guy who has experience, who's been coaching as like an assistant in the NBA.
You can't hire a no-name guy in LA though. You can't hire a no-name guy in LA.
We just did kind of.
It's LA.
Coach wasn't like some big name. Ham wasn't some big name.
But he played, and he was a name that was playing. He was a name synonymous though with Doc. I mean, he was in Milwaukee with Giannis, and he coached the star, and they thought he was the next Jason Kidd to be an assistant and come up the pecking order and be a head coach. At least that happened. JJ's never even been an assistant coach.
Yeah.
What about Sam Cassell?
I like Sam. There's a name out there that no one wants to talk about. I actually got to play him and know him. I played him in high school, and he's a legend here in Cali, and he's a Kansas Jayhawk legend. And then he's shown signs of being really, really good in Orlando, in Brooklyn. Jock Vaughn.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that name, and he's from LA. So I'm just throwing this out there. He's a Pasadena John Muir High School guy. We played him in high school, obviously. He understands the taxes already. He understands the dynamic. Jock Vaughn is a name that I haven't heard that I would like to hear. I think Jock Vaughn fits this team to a T, and I haven't heard that. You got to have a guy that understands the dynamic and the landscape. It's like hiring at SC in football. You hire a guy that's a Midwest guy who SC's done twice in the last 3 hires, and you wonder why you don't succeed. It's the same thing. Even though professional's a little different because you're not just recruiting hometown kids and you're not recruiting LA kids in the professional world, but you still are from LA and understand how LA moves in the second largest media market and understand the dynamic in LA. And understand that this is a fan-driven home base of the Crypto Center now used to be the Staples. This is a different place. It's like New York. It's the same thing. The Knicks job and the Lakers job and the Giants job and the Dodgers job. These type of jobs are different than the Chicago White Sox. No offense. I'm just saying. So, like, Jock Vaughn is a name I have not heard on any level, and I would like to hear that name.
But
What's
let
your
me ask
thought?
you, I was thinking about this. The Lakers are worth around $7 billion. If you're the ownership group, Jeannie Buss owns around 70% of the Lakers. When LeBron James retires, why not just sell the team? Like, why not get out? Like, sell high and get out if you're her. I would.
Because her dad, her family, it's heirloom. Yeah.
But it's never been worth more than right now.
Yeah. Jerry West just died. It's a crazy. Bill Walton just died. It's a lot of shit going on. Like, she'll never do it. And I think she's actually, listen, for everyone that loves Jeannie Buss and because she's a good person, all the shit that you hear from her, she's really put this franchise behind an 8 ball, in my opinion. She's kind of hurt this franchise. Let's just be honest. Since she took over, like that's just the fact. It's not a knock on her. It's not a woman man thing.
Yeah.
She just hasn't met the expectations of this franchise. So I wouldn't sell it if I was her. That she's sitting on a gold mine. But I'm just saying, like, I just think I'm not a Rob Pelinka fan either. Rob Pelinka makes decisions with a fan boy mentality, in my opinion. He's more of a fanboy than he is a builder of an organization. I'm not a fan of anyone there making the decisions.
You know what? They're probably going to go after that Derek Fisher.
Nah.
Not anymore, I don't think.
Not no more. Yeah, I feel like I agree. A couple of years ago, they would have maybe given him a chance because of the. But
Sparks,
he hasn't really.
He had the Sparks winning. Michael Cooper,
got
like
fired, I think.
At least Michael
What about
Cooper.
Stan Van Gundy?
I don't know.
I like that better than fucking.
He's probably the best coach they could.
Yeah, like true coach with experience.
Here's the thing. Here's the lack of on this Laker topic. Here's what they don't do anymore. What they used to do. The Lakers used to say, "I'm walking in and slapping my meat on the table and saying, I'm the biggest dick in the room," meaning I'm the Lakers. Back in the day, Jeff, and you know that you remember this, organizations like this will go pluck the best coach from another franchise. Mm-hmm. Why haven't they gone after a coach that's currently coaching to go pluck them from that organization? Like, I love the Knicks head coach, Thibodeau. I think he would be great in LA because LeBron needs a fucking leader, not a fucking fanboy. And JJ Redick is a fucking fanboy. They do a podcast together, for Christ's sakes. Why don't you go get a coach that actually wants to coach and build? I don't know why we don't pluck somebody from one of these other franchises that have struggled to win over the years. I don't know why. We're not going to get Popovich. He's on the end of his thing. We know that. We never were going to get him. But I'm just saying there's other guys that you can go get, in my opinion, that actually have a resume from another organization. Whether they're winning or not, because they're at a certain franchise, at least go get somebody. I don't even mind my boy, what's his name? The cat was at Utah, and now he's at the slick hair. Quinn Snyder, yeah. Oh. I don't mind him. At least he's coached. Like, I don't know. Lakers are very interesting.
I think we just fire our coaches so quickly that I think other coaches are probably looking like, I don't know if I want to take that risk of leaving my current team and going there, because it's just like, damn, like Frank Vogel won a championship. Say what you want, bubble or not, won a championship. Coach one more year and then was let go. You know, Darvin Ham took him to a Western Conference Finals, made the playoffs, got swept. I get it, but swept against the reigning NBA Finals champions. And he gets fired in 2 years. It's like, damn, there's no sort of job security at all. So I don't know what the answer is. You know,
hey, we got 10 minutes, guys. I want to end it with some free games, some fun shit. We got some white people shit. We got some black people shit.
Yeah, thank you, JB.
We got some women shit that I'm gonna flip the script on. By the way, but go ahead, Jeff.
Jeff want to say something.
WNBA, buddy. Did anyone see Angel Reese in that black dress the other night?
Did you see her teammate too, Kai?
Yeah, they're Angel Reese is fire, man.
Is that why you watch it?
Slide her DMs.
Is what?
Is that why you guys watch WNBA though?
I don't watch WNBA.
No, I watch it because I like supporting women.
Yeah, I follow her on. I follow Angel Reese on TikTok. She is right.
Are you gonna slide or what?
I wish.
You live one life though, Jeff. Fuck it. I mean, worst case scenario, she don't respond. She says no, but you live one life. I think the problem is men sometimes we go into certain scenarios with a losing mindset.
Buddy,
I've been that guy before growing up, like young, like not having my confidence fully and being like, she wouldn't get a guy like me. She wouldn't want a guy like me.
I already DM'd her.
My man. Shake my hand, Jeff, in the air. Shake my hand real quick. That's my man. Go ahead and move forward, man. White people shit, black people shit. Brought to you by Rebet, Bet Online, and Prize Picks. What we got, Bailey? Throw something up on there.
Yeah.
Where do I put it?
On the ground. Who needs a man? Not me. Not me.
Oh.
There's no oil.
That's a withdrawal fluid for the ACs can work.
Yeah. Yes, sir. I'm recording it.
Break it down, JB. You are the car expert. Break it down. What just went on for all people who don't know nothing about cars.
I'm not mad at the women. The video was a bullshit video that showed that women don't need a man, and then they fucked up. Listen, I'm not gonna blame the women. I'm gonna blame the man.
For not stepping up.
That's a man. That's what Smitty would do. That is literally your generation of man nowadays. It ain't even the woman. The woman shouldn't even be changing the oil. I'm a full believer. Like the man.
I agree.
The man should. But that is what y'all would do right now. You would put fucking antifreeze in the goddamn oil. You would remove the oil cap and put antifreeze in that motherfucker.
Ain't no y'all. I would pay somebody to do it.
You'd probably put oil in the fucking windshield wiper.
Ain't no y'all. I would pay another man to do it. I'm at that stage in my life where I don't have to get my hands dirty as much as I used to, JB. We're not in poverty no more. We're not living in our cars no more. We're not getting kicked out and evicted no more. I'm going to pay somebody else to do it because that's the part of my life. Call me bougie, call what you want. You grow in life in order so you don't have to do the same thing you once did, JB. And that's what it is. Call me soft, call me weak, call me whatever, but you won't say it to my face. Everybody else in the chat. So I'm not doing the oil. I'm going to pay somebody to do it, Jeff.
You missed the point. I got some white people shit, though. I got to show you. This is Texas, by the way. This is as white as it gets. I'm not mad at it either. That motherfucker has a turret. He said, fuck it. I'm pulling up to fucking this grocery store like, fuck it. That's white people shit all day long. I clap it up. Fuck it. I want to roll.
He's kind of a buster, though. How come we don't have that thing loaded, man?
I don't know, but I
would have that strip of fucking bullets hanging out, bro.
He might have it. Fuck.
White people, y'all crazy as hell, boy. Yeah, y'all be thinking we like the crazy ones. Why black people do it? Y'all motherfuckers crazy. You driving around with a damn like, what the hell? That's what we say right there.
We got some black people shit though that is really.
Our shit gonna be what? I bet it's gonna be normal though. Watch, it's gonna be some regular old funny shit. Like ain't gonna be no shit like that.
Not normal. It's this. Let me give you context of this next one so Bailey knows where I'm going. There was a teacher that was teaching some kids, and he said, "Listen, if y'all beat me, I will pay for pizza or some sort of a reward for doing well." This is the epitome of BPS right here. Watch this.
Go!
One!
Now that's black people shit to the T.
Why do little kids, like, you hear all the kids screaming? Why are they screaming in the background?
Just excited.
That motherfucker was, bro, he didn't get no pay. He didn't get his check, Smitty. He didn't get his paycheck. He was like, fuck, I can't afford no pizza.
He moving full speed, like perfect form. Look at this. You can tell he ran track in high school.
He pulled his hammy.
He said it was worth it. He ain't even tripping. Nah, that's
I will
definitely
say, I said this the other week. Track on TV, awesome.
Yeah, it actually is.
I was watching it the other night. It was on at the bar. It was the college track. It was fucking awesome.
It's exciting because it's a quick event. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like it happens. Like, you know, you don't know who's gonna win. You're like, oh shit.
The 5,000 meter race. It's 12. I think it was like 12 miles or something. It's insane. It's awesome.
Shout out to track and field, man. I love it. I think we also got some hell yeah or some hell no, JB. Go ahead and read it, JB. You put it together. It's your show.
I'm gonna ask Jeff, a gray area person that's not gonna have fucking Homer glasses on like someone on the chat in this show will. Jeff, hell yeah, hell no. The Jaguars will win more games than the Texans.
Hell no.
Hell no. Hell no. Thank you, Jeff. No. And like you said, he's not biased. He don't have goggles on, but he watches fucking tape I do.
I think the Texans are
poo-poo. Oh, no, Texans are good. The Jags
are legit.
Hey, Jeff, I got to ask you something. I've noticed over the last few years that Ravens fans are the same fans that are Colts fans, that are the same fans that are Texan fans. I have noticed this over the last few years. It's really, really weird. I want to say disturbing, and I also want to say fanboyish, that we all love the Ravens, the Colts, and the Texans all the same. And then the Jaguars are left alone. They're in its own world. And we're very similar in the NFC. We're very similar in the NFC with a lot of teams too, if you notice.
Break it down.
We are. If you look up at the teams, everyone likes the 49ers, the Eagles, and the Cowboys. Make it make sense. How do you like the Eagles, the Niners, and the Cowboys? And then how do you like the fucking Ravens, the Texans, and the Colts? The same fan bases love those three teams. It's fucking unbelievable. It's fucking unbelievable. Anyway,
hey, listen, if CJ Stroud, okay, as long as he does what we think he'll do, he's an MVP candidate. He's got a high-level receiver there. They have, I think, outside of the Chiefs, they're the best team in the AFC going. I believe that. I really do. I think they're legit.
I think
that offense is.
I'm a historian in the quarterback position and understand it. And I love CJ to death. I said last year that he was better than Lamar already, but there is a thing called sophomore slumps, and I just hope that he doesn't hit it. But
he's now got Stephon Diggs.
Well, JB think that's actually could actually.
I think it's worse for him that he has him. I think he's going to ruin the fucking locker room. I think he ruins that wide receiver room.
But I don't know.
Jeff, addition by subtraction is a real.
But think about all the stuff. So listen, all the noise in the Bills locker room and the media, but they balled out together though. Like Josh Allen saw his highest heights with Stephon as his wide out, and Stephon saw his highest heights as a wide out with Josh. So like for all the noise we say, at the end of the day, they balled out and they won a lot of fucking games and was 13 seconds away from beating the Chiefs and really moving on in going deep in the playoffs, 2 years ago, whatever the case may be. So, like, as much as we say a diva and all this stuff, like, they were still making plays, though. So, I mean,
they're a strong roster, man, up and down.
All right, Jeff, we got 3 more questions to get through, and they're catered towards you. Hell yeah, hell no. Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes, JB's Danny Dimes will outperform D. Jones, Trevor Lawrence this season.
Hell no.
Look at those stats, Jeff. Look at those
Daniel Dimes blows.
Look at that comparison.
The first 48 career starts.
I see a comparison that the guy on the left is better than the guy on the right, which is what you're asking. Hell no.
When I see stuff like this, JB, the first question that comes to my mind is why is it so specific? Like, why does it say first 48 starts? Like, has Daniel Jones played more than 48? Has he started more than 48 games? Or have they both only played 48 starts in their career? Because I doubt they do. I like to see everything. I like to see like fucking like, because a lot of times when they do stats like this, they're very specific in when they cut it off, because they don't want to add a certain season or whatever the case may be, knowing that it will fuck up the entire argument.
Well, it says first 48 career starts. That's exactly what it is.
I mean, Daniel Jones has been in the NFL 5 years. He's played 60 games.
This is the specific title, Smitty. First 48 career starts.
I know.
No, why though?
And what I'm telling you, I can read it. I'm telling you, a lot of times when they do shit like this, it's for a purpose. It's like compare Russell Wilson to Justin Fields over the last season and a half, or it'll have a real specific fucking cutoff, because they know if they tell you the full story, it doesn't fit into the narrative that they're trying to preach and put out.
Daniel Jones got hurt. Daniel Jones missed games.
I'm not a Trevor, and Trevor Lawrence got hurt, missed games too. I'm not a big Trevor Lawrence guy like that, but when it comes to like capabilities, overall arm talent, and ability, as we both agreed on earlier, when it comes to skill set, Trevor Lawrence is different than Daniel Jones, bro. He just is. Now you could say it hasn't led to the productivity that you would hope it would lead to. That's one thing. But Trevor Lawrence is better than Daniel Jones. If I was starting my team and the only two quarterbacks I had to pick for him was these two, I think we all say Trevor Lawrence, including JB. If he's not being biased, I think you'd be like, you know what? Yeah, I go with Trevor Lawrence.
Also, the reason it's 50 games is because that, or 48 games, is because that's how many regular season games Trevor Lawrence has played.
Right.
I believe right around there.
Hell yeah, hell no, Jeff. Let's dive into this. Colorado will have more wins than Nebraska.
Well, I haven't seen Nebraska's schedule yet. I had Colorado around, again, and this is on the low end, bowl eligibility. 4 to 5 wins, maybe 6. I don't know if you have Nebraska's schedule handy. I could take a look at it. I'll eyeball it quick. I
got Colorado around 7. So how many games did Nebraska win last year?
I think 6.
Ooh, damn. That's a tough one now.
Keep in mind, too, Nebraska doesn't play Michigan. They don't play Penn State. Their out-of-conference games are UTEP. That's a win. Northern Iowa, that's a win. I mean, UCLA, that's probably a loss, but it is at home. They get Wisconsin at home. They get
Vegas has Nebraska at 7.5 wins.
It might be like a tie. They might get the same. They might have the same record.
I would lean Nebraska. I think Nebraska probably gets 6 or 7. But, and again, listen, give me Matt Rule any day over Dion. So, yeah, absolutely.
Right. Racist. Hell yeah, hell
Not
no.
Racist. Matt Rule's a better coach than Dion Sanders.
I'm fucking with you, Jeff.
Jeff, this is catered to you. This is a specific question, Jeff, to you and your wheelhouse, your backyard. Hell yeah, hell no. Your Philadelphia Eagles will win the NFC East.
It's funny. I was just talking about this last night with somebody. I think it would be a massive failure if they don't. Because you look at the Giants and the Redskins are not good. I think we all know that. It's rebuilding there. Dallas, I mean, again, they're one injury away. And again, any team is. But you look at the skill positions. I mean, CeeDee Lamb, outside of that, what do you have at running back now? Defensively, I guess they're solid, but I don't know. The Eagles are flip. Yeah, I think the Eagles are a sure favorite. I think they're loaded. If they don't win the NFC East, it would be a singular failure.
There it is.
And I'm not being biased. I give it to you straight with the Eagles. They're very good on paper. But look, they were very good on paper last year. So it really is going to come down to Jalen Hurts.
One last one. There's a video out there that's going around. Again, Micah Parsons is in the news. Hell yeah, hell no. Micah Parsons, if he were to play baseball, would bat over 200.
Hell
now, Mookie Betts has came out and been quite offended by this take of Micah Parsons. And Mookie Betts, who I've got to meet, pretty good dude, came out and was like, I would let you bat 500 times and you would not get one single hit out of 500 at-bats. Jeff, you and I both said, hitting a baseball at professional level is probably
So
the
hard.
hardest thing to do in all of professional sports or anything, by the way.
Yeah.
There's no way he bats 200, number one. Number two, he needs to stop doing podcasts and fucking play football. I'm just telling you. But take a listen.
It's what I got.
162 MLB games, 5 at-bats every game. How many hits do you think you could get?
I think I get about 200.
No. The pitchers are that good. You might get
5
25, 30.
times 162. That ain't right.
Penn State education, his math is terrible.
Hold on, let me do the percentages because I think I can go about 200.
Oh, he's crazy.
Like average 200.
200, you would need to get to like 40.
Like in a season.
40 out of
we're gonna
20.
get you an
He
Astro
missed about
jersey.
179 last year.
That was a bad year for him. No, what's his average? No, what was his average though? See, that's what I'm saying. I think I could be about 180 to 200.
Delusion at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. Delusion at its finest.
No, listen. First of all, let me explain. I like Micah Parsons. He's from my area. He's not far away. I actually think he's had some decent takes on non-sports stuff. He's never played baseball, as far as I know. I know he was a basketball player at one point. I don't think he ever played baseball. No, I mean, if he has 200 at bats, let's just say, he would need to get 40 hits essentially to get to the 200-ish mark, I believe. Yeah, I don't see it.
Yeah, he'd be lucky to get 5 to 10.
Yeah,
like hitting a baseball is one of the hardest things to do. And
I would just throw change-ups to him. Yeah, he would never get a hit on that.
Here's Mookie.
Micah Parsons. He mentioned that he could hit between 180 and 200 in the big leagues.
I think I get about 200.
There's some really good hitters hitting about less than 200 right now.
That's what I'm saying. Micah, you are a phenomenal athlete, top tier. No chance you can hit between 180 and 200. You can do a lot of things and a lot of things successfully, but hitting a baseball is not one of them.
I mean, he probably got speed. He can
But
run.
hitting it. Glass said if we gave Micah 500 at bats, he would get 5 hits. If we gave him 500 at bats, how many hits do you think he would get?
No, I think he'll get more than that.
I think he gets 0 hits.
0?
0.
No, I'd probably say no.
Who is he going to hit in the big leagues? And how is he going to get hit?
Somebody will tell him drop down the bunt at least 6 times out of 500.
And you think he could bunt it?
I think so.
Okay.
Right. You think you could fucking lay down a bunt? You know, a bunt is harder than hitting it.
I mean, so for instance, just to say right now, Nick Castellanos plays for the Phillies. He hits around 210 right now. That's crazy.
What? I'm like a ball's coming 100 miles an hour. I'm like, he's gonna lay down a bunt? What the fuck are we doing, homie? By the way, there's a stat I saw yesterday before we end the show. There's a stat that Barry Bonds, listen to this crazy shit. Barry Bonds, if he were stripped,
his 7 MVP seasons away from his shit, he would still have numbers that have never been touched before.
listen, he would still have 440 home runs and 359 stolen bases if you stripped him from all his shit.
Like you took his 7 MVP seasons away, he still would have those ridiculous numbers that no one has ever. So it's just crazy to show that he's not in the fucking Hall of Fame.
And Micah thinks he can get bat 200. Just let that resonate.
It's
dog.
just confidence, bro. It's what it is. Austin Rivers thinks that half the NBA can play in NFL. I mean, listen, everybody just talking at the end of the day.
Hey, I found before we go, I found an interesting thing I wanted to share with you guys. You guys talk a lot about the border. There's a group that tracks organized crime that's coming into this country. There are some really disturbing people popping up in America's cities as far as very high-level organized crime people. You know,
yeah, like ISIS. Yeah, I know. 8 of them.
Correct. Cartels, ISIS, Chinese, triads, all sorts of very bad people. I'm telling you, this is very dangerous that they're continuing to allow this.
Hey, Jeff, we talked about this, I think, about 6-8 months ago, you and I. This is I mentioned it then, and it's only getting worse. Like, it's unbelievable what's going on. It's crazy. We can track ISIS and illegal immigrants, but we are allowing them in and make that make sense. How do we track illegal immigrants and know who's who? Like,
just in this area, there were eight terrorists just arrested. They're from Tajikistan.
hey, listen to this though. Last conspiracy I want to go through with you because I know you love conspiracies. Russia put some submarine and some warships in Cuba, 90 miles from Florida, United States, and then Florida gets destroyed by floods, literally the next day. And I don't know if you've seen this. I was sent this because somebody told me that we're not at war with each other. We're in a weather war of manipulation. Look at Moscow today, Russia. How ironic is this that they got boats outside of Florida and then Russia now is underwater and Florida's underwater where Russia is? Like, what's going on here with this weather?
So you're saying that they're weaponizing the weather?
Well, it's been a conspiracy for a while, but what's the percentage, I guess, that both places are underwater in normal? By the way, this is statistically fact that you like to talk about. They don't get water in those two places at this time. Why are these two places underwater right now?
But I guess my question is, how would you make it rain? I don't understand. Like,
we can make it rain. You can make it rain.
No, but like I'm saying, that's a lot of water. And I guess you're just bursting dams and shit like that. But
hey, this is not a conspiracy. Dubai was a literally orchestrated weather.
But JB, you have been known on the show before to post videos that have not been corroborated as fact. Is that actually in Russia?
Yeah, of course.
Because I remember at one point you said a Tesla factory was being stormed, and it was just like climate activists.
I remember that.
You were saying it was immigrants.
No, that's what we all think. I'm just bringing up the option.
But for instance, I want to make this clear. The Daily Loud, one of the worst publications on the internet, they have posted videos trying to say things are happening, and they're taking videos from like 5 years ago that aren't actually real. They're, like they were saying Miami, there's warships in Miami, like in the air, and it ended up being like a naval show or something.
Yeah, I don't pay attention to that.
That's why I always like, make sure y'all go read the article.
You have to verify these videos.
I do though. My brother's in the Air Force and he was a fighter pilot in a lot of.
So you're saying that weather in Moscow has been
No. What I'm saying is cloud seeding and manipulation in Dubai was real because Pat Perez was there for golf and he was like, dude, this is crazy. There's no drainage here. And then all of nowhere, it just rained. And then there was.
It doesn't rain.
But they came out, though. They came out and said that they tested a cloud seeding program that got out of control. And I don't know if you mix a fake manipulative cloud seeding with real weather, Jeff, then you're back with Mother Nature. You can't control that no more. And it got out of hand. So I'm just saying cloud seeding is documented as real. I just want to throw that out there. And I just am asking you if this whole thing is real.
Well, listen, I think it definitely is a very interesting coincidence.
I'm just asking you about a coincidence. That's all I'm saying. I don't know if it's real or not. I'm just saying this is real coincidence that both places are fucking underwater right now.
Yeah, listen, I've been told recently that I'm a spy for Russia, and I side with Russia on everything, all this crap. So, listen, I think it's just a coincidence.
You said you hate Putin, and he's a slapdick. I don't know.
I wouldn't say I hate him. I think he's a war criminal for sure, but I think his nation is. Let me just not say much because I will say I do like societies similar to the ones that he has. I think they're the most pure we can have in the world, and I think Western ethics and civilization has destroyed this world. I think the Western value is a disaster, and I don't want to live a part of it much longer. That said, do I like Russia? No.
I mean, that's a whole nother conversation. Like. I agree.
There's a reason, Coach, that every country exclusively, for the most part, outside of the Western hemisphere, has declined Western civilization. They don't want to live in it. There's a reason for it. It is something that pushes sexuality constantly in everything, very depraved things that I don't want to be a part of. And that's just the truth. There's a reason.
But one side you say Putin's a war criminal, and
he is a war criminal. He throws people out of windows that don't agree with him.
So has every president of the United States has ever put in office. Then, I mean,
sure. And
shit.
again, I've made it
We're
clear.
the biggest war criminals we've ever seen is America.
Well, I've said many times, I think that the leaders in this country are horrible as well. Most political people are.
Yeah, no doubt.
Great show, though, Jeff. We appreciate you for joining us, man.
Hey, Smitty, break down some hockey and golf real quick again.
Yeah, man. Well, not hockey. I'm really more so tied
well
in.
known for.
Yeah, I'm tied in more so to the golfing side, man. Like I told you guys earlier today, man, the U.S. Open is a big deal. Everyone's so tied to what Tiger's going to do. Tiger's going to be the draw, but listen, he's past his prime. He's +4 last time I checked, which is like tied 79th, I want to say. So listen, black folks, we love you. I'm black. I get it. Tiger's not Tiger no more. You need to be voting for my guy, Dietrich. Dietrich is the guy, Thomas Dietrich, Belgian golfer. I think right now he's with -3 right now. So he's in the top 5. I think this guy is hot. He's a sleeper. Put some money on him. That's my guy who I'm putting my money on to actually win this thing. Another guy, man, who's pretty good right now, Matthew Pavon, French golfer as well, who's doing pretty well. So listen, you want to win some money? These are the guys who I'm thinking on.
Last week you were real confident. You knew a bunch of hockey though. It's crazy.
I mean, listen, yes, I do know hockey, but I'm saying right now, like, I've been focusing more so on my golfing side is what I'm saying. Obviously, the hockey, I mean, listen, the Panthers, I think, are going to lose this thing, which I said in the first place.
They're going to what?
Huh?
The Panthers are what?
Going to lose this thing.
They're up 3-0.
They're up 3-0.
I think they're going to lose.
Shut up.
I think something's not going to wood. I think something's going to happen, and I think the Edmonton team.
Hey, I'll take that bet. You want to bet that?
Offline, we can, yes.
500?
Huh?
500.
This motherfucker, he just made the whole show more incredible than it already is with the bad mics, the bad lighting, the bad cameras.
Yeah, buddy, what are you, drunk already? It's only 9:17 where you are. Look, he's frozen. I was going to pretend he doesn't hear us. See, look.
He's fucking drooling.
Yeah, he's pretending he doesn't hear us. He's pretending his thing went out. Look.
No, he's not.
He's still here. I can see him moving.
He's moved his face.
Yeah, Smitty, you're not. Just exit. Just leave. Yeah,
Bailey, we'll be back Monday.
You idiot.
Enjoy the weekend. Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers.
Correct.
And to yours, Jeff. Mine, not here today, but
mine isn't here either.
Them.
Be my first without him.
God bless our fathers. And what I would do to have my pops here this weekend chilling, just like
Agreed.
you. So everybody out there.
What a dumbass thing to say. They're going to lose up 3-0.
Yeah, he's lost.
Why is he pretending that his connection went out?
Smitty's talking about thinking about chicken wings and fucking ass. Leah, shout out to Leah in the chat.
No, Leah, I've seen Leah on Twitter.
All the ladies.
Shout out to Leah.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Leah, join the Discord. Join the Discord right now, Leah.
That will make me join.
Join Discord, Leah, right now. Happy Father's Day.
Hey, we'll see you guys Monday.
Crazy ass.
Appreciate all you guys.
I gotta go. I'm busy. I got a job.
We'll see you Monday. Peace.
Issues get pressed so fast it don't get sacked like bags and baggage. Smitty and Jason Brown, kill the ass a rap. We